You are now entering a dangerous liberty zone where God-given natural rights are held sacred and exercised. This is your warning. Tyranny, fascism, and censorship will not be tolerated. Ideas will be exchanged freely. Rigorous debate and open discourse is encouraged. If you are weak and your beliefs are fragile, you should leave now. Prepare yourself. We are now live on the Dangerous Liberty Podcast. The only thing more dangerous than liberty is the lack thereof. What's going on, folks? Big night tonight. We just hit 50,000 subscribers. We got a cool discussion for you tonight. Want to welcome everybody. First, I want to welcome my beautiful wife, Summer. How was your week, Summer?
It's good.
Good.
It's sunshiny and nice outside.
It is sunshiny. Chris?
There's a lot of stupid people working the government. Sorry, that's my take for today.
Starting off on a good note.
That's my take, and I'm going to stick to it, and I think everybody can agree.
I don't doubt that. Jason, how was your week, buddy?
Doing pretty good. Just sitting at home watching a baby all day. So this is the first human interaction. I mean, if you count the child.
Is he still alive?
What about your wife?
Yeah, he is still alive. Fortunately.
You cracked the window? He's out in the car right now?
Yeah. Yeah.
Sitting in your electric car.
I mean, that's easy as a piece of cake watching a baby.
Oh my gosh, I love it. I loved it.
What?
I mean,
Loved
do you even do anything all day?
It
Like
is
sit around and eat
mentally
bonbons?
taxing.
I see you.
Sean.
I see you getting on your VR.
Sean, how was your week, man? It was good to have you back. You've been gone for a couple weeks on vacation, out haphazardly gallivanting about.
Hey, it was good, thank you. I'm really glad to be back.
Good, man.
Oh, Jeff, I hate to disappoint you tonight, but I am just drinking straight up agua.
No, he drank a
tonight.
fancy water. Don't even say straight up agua. It's Fiji.
Well, in a Fiji bottle, but that's just my tap water.
We want to go ahead and welcome everybody that is on here live. Folks, if you're showing up and you haven't said hello, why don't you go ahead and do that so we can welcome you. We got Jeff Hahn, we got Ted P, Iron Stomach 01, Lloyd Castleton. Anybody want to scroll for me up and down? There we go. There you go.
Scrolled
All right, is that all? TC. I saw Mike Ken on there somewhere. There we go. Willie Everett, Neil Floyd, Bubba Boy. Bubba, I talked to you the other day. It's good to have you on the live stream. So we got a lot of stuff.
Boy, where you got to be from Alabama or something, right?
No, I think he's from West Virginia.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Come on, Jay.
Jesus.
He's a hometown boy.
Jay doesn't get it.
We got Clay Johansson. We got Vixen 8769.
Vixen.
Awesome. Yeah. So we got a lot of stuff to talk about. We just did a.
He's Northeast Texas.
It's a different Bubba.
Oh, that is different,
Northeast
Bubba.
Texas. There we go.
I think you need to trademark your name. Somebody else is using it.
TM.
Team 55MX. Welcome, man.
And you're welcome, Jeff.
Yeah, so big day. We definitely hit, it was cool that we hit 50,000 subscribers yesterday, so that is really cool. And a lot of hard work went into that. And again, we really appreciate all the love and support that you guys show to us every week here, but more importantly in our courses, buying your gear and equipment from us. That allows us to do what we do, and we're going to continue to kind of build on the media stuff. I think that's getting our message out is important to me as training, right? I think between understanding and informing people on the importance of the Second Amendment and just overall individual liberty, I think if you take anything away from what we do here, that's what it's about. And on top of that, training and equipping people with good gear and providing you good content that you guys enjoy. So
And we had another YouTube viewer stop by the shop today. He was from Tennessee. No. Somewhere else. Anyway, he's passing through on 81.
I guess he didn't make a big impression on
He
you.
did. He was a very nice guy. But
You say you was passing, so
he's passing through and looked us up and
I
made
say
sure
you
to
gotta give credit because a lot of people out there don't realize 81 is probably what 20 to 25 minutes. You know what I
From
mean?
the store, yeah.
So he was doing a 50-minute detour.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, down and back at least, and that's not talking to you.
He was
That's awesome.
he was coming through from work and heading back home from a job he was on, and stopped on his way home, and he had a 4-hour drive ahead of him. So
Sweet.
even
That's
more,
awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, let's say hello to our peeps on Rumble, our
You got it
Lost
up?
Boys over there.
The Lost
on,
Boys.
we got Casperta over there,
Awesome.
right? And Old Otter.
Saw Otter today too.
Otter was in the shop today picking
No,
up some goodies. So again, we've been busy. We just had a big training event this past week, and then on top of that, we have our first handgun level 1 and 2 course this weekend. We'll talk a little bit more
This
about
weekend.
that this weekend,
Man, that came
Saturday and
quick.
Sunday. It
Yeah.
does.
Got a full class.
Man, the weather was beautiful.
Maxed out class. Well, we got 20 students.
Something like that.
So, going to be a good week. Going to be a busy week, and it's really just going to be busy from here till November. I mean,
know.
that's how it's going to be.
With wrestling season, which we're fortunate that wrestling season is during our off season of training, and that's all fine. You know, the store's open Tuesday through Saturday, and then we had wrestling every Sunday. And yeah, this past Sunday was the first Sunday I've had off in months, and now we start training again. So it was really
Hooray!
yeah. I'm like, well, Sundays are gone again. No.
Yeah.
I remember the very first few years. That was brutal.
What do you mean?
That's
Specifically, it did. I want to know. I want to know what you
He
meant
wants specifics, Jay.
like that
what
was
what
legit. I mean, Gary and Summer still pretty much go this hard all the time, but I
do.
do not. Right, and I mean that was straight up 7 days a week, no break ever.
Yep.
It hasn't changed,
Right.
Jay.
No, it hasn't.
Yeah.
It's,
For-
it's
for
only
you
gotten
guys.
more intense.
Yeah,
It's gotten more intense,
you
more
guys,
busy.
for sure. But I remember those first few years. That was brutal.
Hey, man. You know, at the end of the day, if you're going to start a business, especially in a, there's a lot of competition in this business. There's a lot of, it's a challenge to set yourself apart because there's a lot of. The problem is there's a lot of folks out there, whether it's training, whether it's guns or equipment or whatever else. You know, there's a lot of folks out there. Don't have real world experience. Don't have the instructors that we have. It's not just about me. I mean,
Professional instructors.
professional instructors with that again, professional instructors on top of that really know what they're doing. And so we've never been about, you know, charging $100 a course like you see, and especially going back a couple years ago. You know, we started off at $300 a course, and that was insane. As a matter of fact, the range that we were working with at the time said that you'll never sell courses this way. And I won't say that it wasn't a challenge in the first couple of years, but once we got the word out, and once people started coming,
Saw the value of it.
and
That's
at
the
that
thing.
point we had no social media really. We had no, we definitely weren't on YouTube. It was literally, we built this business by word of mouth only.
I think even the bigger challenge than just, you know, there being a big amount of competition is making the consumer of training or even gear for that matter understand the difference between the $100 course
Yeah.
and the $299 course.
Well, it-
why Paramount is different than running down and getting your, you know, Utah concealed carry permit that, you know, you go shoot 5 rounds and you're done. It's really hard to make the consumer understand that until they come out to our course and then they're like, oh,
Well,
I get it.
and that's the paradox of it, and that's the like the chicken and the egg. It's like you need to educate the consumer to get them to come to your courses, but you need them to come to your courses to
show
educate.
them.
Yeah.
Which, you know, it was a challenge that we accepted, and you know we've done just fine. And there again, you know, we never intended to get into retail, but I will say that at the end of the day, it's good that we did because it does supplement training. And quite frankly, you know, our retail sales have long surpassed our training revenue. And that's a good thing because it allows us to do more things. It allows me to do this full time as opposed to having a full-time government job on top of this. So again, 50,000 new subscribers is a big deal.
50,000.
Don't touch those.
50,000.
Another big thing too.
Okay.
Another big thing too is
forgot.
word of mouth from you all. That's a big thing that I've heard, and me telling people at work and stuff like that. Hey, go watch Paramount videos. I was like, maybe you're not ready to take a class yet. Maybe you're not ready to do this yet. Maybe you're not ready to do this yet. But I was at work actually today, and they were like, hey, I watched this video that you were talking about, and I got interested in this, and I'm thinking about taking a class this year. I was like, go take it. They were like, it's you know, I'm a little bit hesitant. I was like, believe me, they're
going
gonna
to
be
videos.
they're gonna be so. I don't even know the right word because I'm stupid, but like forgiving, or it doesn't matter.
Great.
I remember the class I
We're
took.
just gonna have fun.
The class I took, that grandma was there.
Yeah.
That got willed from her. She was a widow. Got willed her husband's pistol and said, "I don't know how to do this. Please teach me how to shoot this." By the end of the,
I forgot about her. She was like what, 70?
Yeah, I think Connor was teaching her, and then by the end of the day, Yeah. Poor Connor. Shout out here.
Students love Connor though.
Connor's a good dude. I've known him since high school. But Connor, by the end of the day, had her punching quarters at 7 yards.
Yeah.
For a 70-year-old lady on
And she
was
left-
literally doing this. I don't know what to do with this gun.
Yeah, and she left capable and confident.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
And that's what it's
I
about.
think Jason had something he wanted to say.
What do you want?
Speaking about videos, right? It's always hard for me, even when I see other companies' videos online, like their action videos, let's call it, right? It's like sometimes you look at those things, you're like, well, that's stupid, right? But a lot of times videos take out the context of what the point of training will be. Just because you see a company training a certain way, that doesn't mean you get the context of the point.
Doing certain activities.
Yeah, doing certain activities,
Yeah.
right? Like people, I see armchair warriors all the time, right? They comment on videos, right? But they don't understand that a video just catch a glimpse of what they were they were doing.
Couple seconds.
Right, but it doesn't actually explain what the training value of that was, right? So, it's even hard when you put the videos out there to translate what the training value of that specific
technique
technique
or
was.
Or anything.
or tactic.
Any of them.
Any TTP. And that's one of the things that, and I'm still trying to get better at this because I do think there's a fine balance. But one of the things that I've always done, or at least after a little while starting YouTube, is I got away from trying to make my videos super short because nuance is important, right? And that's really important when you're talking about. I don't care if you're talking about a piece of equipment. I don't care if you're talking about a tactic. I don't care if you're talking about the fundamentals of marksmanship. Nuance and those small things matter. And so, yeah, I do have longer videos because I think details matter.
Yeah.
And I will say to those that criticize, because I think it's a fair criticism.
Mm-hmm.
I do want to continue to get better at getting the same information across in a more concise manner to where I can make shorter videos. But at some point in time, what I don't want to do is I'm not here to make entertaining videos. I'm here to make educational videos. And the fact of the matter is if I do a review on a gun or whatever it is, I want you to leave there knowing everything that you could possibly need to know to make a decision of whether or not, as much as you can without actually using it. I want you to know the ins and outs of it. I want you to know everything that I know about whatever it is I'm talking about. And that's the same with tactics, the same with any firearm. So, I'm not here to create this, 5 to 10 minute, which is the formula for YouTube. I'd rather have all the information there. And if you want to scrub through and miss half of it and then comment
Watch
on
it
it
2x.
and then comment on something like, oh, why didn't you cover this? But I did, and you
Watch
skipped
the
it over here.
video.
While he's talking in girl voice.
Well, for an example, and this is why I'm bringing this up, because if you see videos, feel free to reach out and see if you ever see something that you don't think is something that we're teaching correctly or it's
If you have
something that
questions
you don't
about it.
agree with,
Yeah.
reach out, because you might not understand the training value. And I go back to, let's say one of our culmination drills where we have the breakaway.
Clays.
Yeah, well, we have the
Reactive
plays inside,
targets?
right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we put those in there because we teach to shoot till the threat is stopped,
Mm-hmm.
right? So if you just see a video of us shooting clays on a silhouette, well, the training value
I see
doesn't
your
get
point, Jay.
translated, right?
I
so
see your point, totally.
The training value of that is to not to shoot the clay, but it's to shoot until the threat is stopped, right? So if you hit the clay on the first,
so you get a response.
yeah,
Yeah.
so you get a response, right?
Which
So-
is really important, which
Reactive
is
response,
lost.
yeah.
When you're just shooting paper targets all the time, and it's like
Correct.
pop, 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 pop. Everybody double taps all these targets.
Yeah, you're hitting-
Yeah.
You are training yourself to transition away from a threat to another threat without knowing for sure that you've taken care of that
Correct. I
initial
need
threat.
to see that threat deform.
Yeah.
So
Well-
one way we do that is
Go ahead, Jeff.
is
Keep
with the clays, right? But that's what I mean by sometimes videos are lost in translation.
And if you have questions, guys, for now, what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to put Jay's direct cell phone on all the
cell phone
videos.
so you can
It's going to be
text
right
him
at the
right
bottom. You guys can call or text him directly and have as much conversation with
But
him.
no, Jay, for me, not as highly trained as you all by any means, that was when we did the culmination drill and handgun 1 2, that was really cool because anybody, like you said, can come up and draw and hit a silhouette of cardboard and be like, oh, I hit it. But when you're aiming, everybody's always heard aim small, miss small. When you're trying to hit the clay and you have the reactive target, and now I'm sure you all have reactive targets down at Summit now, which is probably amazing. But we have that reactive target. Obviously, you're hitting a spot this big instead of hitting a spot this big.
Yeah.
So it was actually, again, it made you aim small, miss small. So you felt better about yourself, and maybe you did have to take 4 shots.
And well,
maybe you did, and that shows you again. Well, maybe I need
well,
to put this classic
in reality, 2 shots may not work on a real threat.
Correct.
And that's what that's there to simulate. But
I mean,
you know,
the first 2 shots might go over Jay's shoulder, and you got to get a count.
I
You know what I
mean-
mean? Because your gun's going up. You're like, oh.
if you hit Jay, you're aiming small, missing small.
Jay, I love you, Bubba.
Lonnie wanted to know if we get one of those YouTube plaques now.
I don't think is there a YouTube plaque? I know there's a plaque for 100,000. I don't.
we
Oh,
get
you guys
that.
need to get us to 100. We need a plaque.
We need to hang,
that's
hang
that's
that.
the next thing.
Everybody
We'll
needs to
definitely
make
get it.
burner accounts. That's all. The
We're gonna
50 people,
do-
and then
We're gonna have a big party when we have once we get 100,000, without a doubt.
By the
Big
way,
big party.
Jeff Hahn wants to know if update on a caracal.
So we are getting some caracals tomorrow. I checked the tracking. Those are the SBRs and the rifles. As far as the the sub guns, the ATF is dragging their feet on the import.
We're waiting on the government, folks.
Damn them.
Those were
So as
those were
soon
shipped
as-
out like a week, or they were ready to ship like a week after SHOT Show. We're just
Yeah.
waiting on approval from the ATF.
Yes,
so
exactly.
Iron stomach. Once you get your award, blow it up.
I'm definitely shooting it.
That'd be sweet. To
I
have
am
a bullet
definitely.
hole one.
I will either have or rent a 50 cal at that point, and we will shoot that thing at
I'm sure we
1,000
can find
yards.
somebody with a 50.
Nah, I mean, Summer, you got all these Walthers now. You can afford a 50 cal.
Somebody
Right.
came in the shop the other day like, oh yeah, I have a 50 cal. Who was that? I have a Barrett.
I love. I constantly get comments, either direct message or emails, or even in YouTube comments, where like, Gary, I'm thinking about PRS. I want to get a 50 cal. PRS.
I don't know if he's before to shoot it. I want to be his friend.
But
Is
yeah,
there more
what were you
prevalent
saying?
than you
Vic?
would think?
I was just saying there was someone in the shop that came in the other day. They have a Barrett 50 cal. It's the I guess gas gun version.
They all Sure.
Anyway,
Yes.
he said somebody was desperate. He picked that up for $2,000.
Oh my god.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Yeah, you damn right. That's stolen out of a
He is,
dude's house.
he is a tow truck driver, so he probably comes across. a
It
few
might have been laying in
crackheads.
some
Oh,
dude's
yeah,
car.
he was laying in the back seat.
That was laying in the car. It's like, I
Yes.
secured all the
No,
personal property.
He seems legit. He seems legit.
Well,
Like,
I'm going to be friends with him.
getting back on to some sort of subject and track a little bit here. So what I wanted to do tonight was talk a little bit about handguns. We just did the review on the Walther PDP. I was super impressed with this. You know, I'm telling you folks, it takes a lot to impress me when it comes to a handgun.
It's a nice gun.
You know, there's new handguns coming out all the time. I had very low expectations of these, and it was cool because this is one of the rare occasions where I get this basically all the models from Walther. They sent it for this training event. Actually talked to them a little bit today, and we're working some things out. But with that being said, I do think these are just phenomenal when it comes to, well, period. I think under any category, but especially if you're going to put a red dot on a gun, these allow you to find that red dot better than anything. So I thought, since we had that, we talked about that review just recently and why my mind is kind of focused on handguns, I figured we'd talk a little bit about handguns in general. We can talk about ammunition. We can talk about concealed carry, home defense, holsters, gear, accessories. I'll take questions. We all will take questions. And we could just, again, have a conversation about handguns in general.
And we do have some of these hitting the shop tomorrow. As well.
We do have some of these hitting.
Are these the match with the flared magwell and the
Yeah,
flat
so
triggers?
throw up the top camera. So right here we have the flared magwells. This is the polymer match, and the reason I'm not touching these guys is YouTube will literally shut this down
Yeah,
if
I
you're
forgot
touching
earlier
a
when I did that
handgun
one.
or any gun on a live stream.
So I've only touched this.
So again, this is the polymer PDP match 5-inch. This is the steel frame match 5-inch. This is the compact 4.5-inch or 4-inch steel frame, and then we have the PDP 4.5, 4, and then the F series.
That's 3.5.
That is a 3.5. Yeah. So
I
go
will
ahead.
tell you, for everybody out there watching, go back to the big one again, or the top screen again. I have monster hands, and I was over here with Gary, and we were shooting these. This one right here, was it the PDP
You got the
full frame?
This is
you
the
got
steel frame.
Steel frame and
champagne.
5-inch
and then,
match.
and then the what's this one? These two.
This is the PDP polymer 5-inch
Match.
match.
Okay, those two. If you have, you can go back to the other screen. If you all have monster bear paws those two pistols feel amazing in your hand. And I'm a Glock guy. I've been a Glock guy. I've been a 1911 guy. Those two guns have made me a believer in Walther about how they feel and how comfortable they are. It doesn't compare to the extra beaver tail that Glock gives you. You can slip on yours and throw the little plastic.
Well,
pin in it.
so
It's
this
just,
is
my
the,
God, they're
this is
amazing.
the medium backstrap on this. So you can actually change the backstrap on this, and you can get larger or smaller wraparound grips for the steel frames as well.
That is two of the most comfortable off the line pistols that I have shot.
Yeah.
That's pretty
for a big
customizable.
for a big hand. Like you have other people. I have friends of mine that have smaller hands, and they try to. They're like, I don't really like this stuff like that. Like my Glock 43, 2 fingers hang off of it and stuff like that. Doesn't feel great. These are. I mean, I'm comparing apples to oranges. These feel amazing if you're going to go out and if you're just going to plink. If you'd want, I mean, you could
The
possibly conceal
ergonomics,
them,
yeah, no, you could.
but
The
they just feel amazing in your hand.
The ergonomics are great on these. They're really well made and
Super
definitely have a different grip angle that is more conducive or makes using a red dot much more intuitive. So that's that. I don't want to beat the drum on these too much. I will take questions on these if you have any.
Michael Han has one.
They're
Mike,
nice.
did you figure out? Yes. So I actually reshot a correction on that, and I shot a correction on that. I'm actually going to pull that video down, put that correction in, and repost it because it wasn't fair to Walther. I got that wrong. Here's the thing. What you guys saw, if you watched the review, you see what they say on the website, and that is that there's 2 frame sizes, and then there's 3 different slide lengths. What they don't say anywhere in there is that these are modular within their series. And I looked back at the video, and just by chance, I was actually taking like the 4.5 off the PDP, the polymer, and trying to swap it with the steel frame and vice versa. So any of these PDP, throw it back up on the top. So this is a PDP polymer, and polymer. You can take any of these slides off, and they will interchange within this.
Even though this is a match and these aren't?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what he was doing earlier.
Even now, the steel frames are the same way. Any of the steel frames, you can take this off. Now, it's fine. It gets a little wonky. You can take this 5-inch and put it on the compact version here, but when you put this compact version, this 4.5-inch or 4-inch on this frame, now you have a whole lot of dust cover showing down here,
Yeah,
and
got
it's
the rail hanging
exposed.
out.
It doesn't make a lot of sense, but it does work. The same thing with the F series. Anything within the F series, so those are interchangeable and modular, quote unquote, within their own series. So that is where I made a mistake. But to be fair, Walther doesn't say anything. I actually talked to the guys at Walther about that today. They had left a message. We ended up linking up. I talked to them about it, and I was like, you guys should really. It was my bad. I got it wrong, and I'm going to correct it. But you guys should say something to clarify that on the website. So there's that. Yeah, so throw up Holies. Oh, this is fine. For the panel, thoughts on the ATF big wig who could not.
Well, hey, listen, hey.
I'll tell you what, that went around our dude's group chat pretty well.
I am not defending the ATF. I repeat, I am not defending.
You seem
the
to do it
ATF,
pretty
but
often.
If you watch the video,
That was great.
on the back of that Glock, there's a Glock switch on there, and they should have known better, right? But
It did have a Glock switch on the
It had
backpack?
a Glock switch on the back.
I didn't look at it that close, though. Okay.
In order to take apart a Glock with the Glock switch, you have to remove the Glock switch first for the slide to come off, right? So he shouldn't have picked it up and tried to take it apart right there. It wouldn't.
Well, he should have known that, but
Yeah, he made a mistake.
I mean,
Had Glock switch on
wasn't he the
back,
high?
then-
What did they say? He was the expert.
The Hexpert?
The expert.
Expert. Sorry, I was breathing out. He was the expert. This is our Glock
Yeah.
expert.
Heavy H on that. The expert.
That was during an exhale.
It's like,
That's what I showed my wife. I was like, "Hey, he's an expert." And I had my Glock. I was like, "Clink, clink, clink."
Yeah.
What happened while he was
It was
on
the
TV?
you're just trying
All
to
right,
impress
so
Robin.
Holy says there are so many good semi-automatic pistols in the market. It's analysis for us trying to pick out a carry pistol. All right, so this is one thing that I kind of DJ'd into that correction.
DJ.
Wicked.
That's exactly what I was going to do.
And that is, look, there are lots of guns that we have access to, that we try out. There's pretty much no brand that I haven't shot, or definitely Jay hasn't shot too. He does those things.
How many high points have you shot?
I've shot a couple high points.
Jay likes
The point is that 98% of the stuff that we try, whether it's a particular firearm or not, and I don't do this on like just personal preference. I mean, there's obviously personal preference goes a long way, and it can't be dismissed. But at the end of the day, there's only the firearms that you hear me talk about are the ones that I know work and can be trusted. And I got lots of test time on those. And you're going to hear a lot. Me always talk about M&Ps. You're going to hear me talk about Glocks. I whether you like them or not, I know there's a lot of people out there that love the SIGs. SIGs had some problems. I don't trust SIGs right now. I don't want to buy SIGs. I personally don't like them, but if they worked well and they didn't have some of the problems they had on their full-size guns, you wouldn't hear me talk. Now, with that being said, my everyday carry right here is a SIG P365 XL.
And I hate SIG.
It is. I'm
love
not
that
a,
gun.
not a fan of
Love
SIG,
that
but this
pistol.
gun is so. I got like 3 or 4 M&P shields that I used to carry, and I'm a big M&P guy. I like the ergonomics. That gun blows M&P shields out of the water on like shootability, just overall comfort. It shoots like a full-size gun. It just feels better. We got higher capacity. I know since then Shield has come out with some higher capacity guns, but this is everything that the Shield was supposed to be, and they just made a lot of improvements. So with that being said, there's Canics out there. They are what they are. They're
Somebody was telling me
okay.
the Canic Terran Tactical collaboration
Yeah.
is supposed to be super amazing.
And I'm sure it will be. I'm sure it will be. And Canic's come a long way. They've made some new firearms, but at the end of the day, if you see it on our website or you see them in the store, there's a reason for it. If you don't hear me talking about it, it's because I'm not going to spend a lot of time bashing other companies, and I don't review something or form an opinion on something because I don't just personally like it. It comes down to a form and function issue. So, yeah, there's lots of firearms out there, but there's also 3 or 4 out there brands that are doing really well.
I mean, case in
that
point-
you're not going to go wrong with buying.
Case in point, when you say you form it off of actual form and function, you didn't like SIG, and when the 365 came out, you gave it a chance and you love it.
I did.
Yeah.
I did.
So
Even there you
I will-
And Summer can attest to this. When the what's the new SIG polymer full size gun? Having a brain fart. Anybody know? No. What the Army just bought.
not the P320, is it?
That's
Yeah, the P320.
That's what I was
So
gonna
the
say,
P320.
I didn't want to be wrong.
So when the
I didn't yell
P320
at me.
first came out, I bought 2 P320s.
You bought 2 and
I
sold
bought 2
2.
of them. And I tried to freaking, what is going on here? I don't even know.
Their balloons just came across the screen.
Somebody did something. And
I tried to love them. I didn't personally like them, but you didn't hear me say anything bad about them. But then we came across a drop issue that it still seems to be going on, a drop issue and
Yeah.
and an inadvertent firing
I
issue.
had someone come in the shop, and I'm not going to say who or who they work for. I had someone come in the shop.
It was President Biden.
Come in the shop recently, an instructor, and he had a student in class that their P320 went off without.
Yeah, they're going off in holsters and everything else.
Still doing it. They're still doing it.
So with all this being said, there are some trusted brands out there. The other thing I'll say is, again, I don't have a longevity. I have on the steel frame, I probably got about 300 rounds through it. That's the one I shot the most, just because, man, that thing just gives you so much confidence and it shoots so flat. It really does shoot like a $3,000+ 2011. But I do think that providing we don't run into any weird issues, I think the PDP line you're going to continue to see it to grow. And I just talked to them today. I know that they've got several large law enforcement contracts now, which is good to see because it's a good gun. It's really a good gun, especially if you're transitioning to a red dot.
I will say, like in my experience, and I'm not calling out any companies in particular here. In my experience, a lot of quality control issues from Turkish guns coming into the country. That's just my opinion. I know they're a lot cheaper that you can get, especially like the 1911s that you see out there. You can get them for way cheaper, but I see a lot of quality control issues with Turkish guns.
Talking about the
just,
guns.
just my opinion.
Talking about the guns that were on the docket to go. What was it for the new Army ones? Whatever you were talking about.
P320s.
Yeah. Did you shoot many 19Xs in? Because that was the other one that they could have.
Glock 19X.
Yeah. Well,
I've shot 19Xs. I
say,
mean, you know,
do you like it better or worse? I mean, it's
a Glock 19. You know, it's essentially
there's not. If you like a Glock,
it's a Glock. Yeah, it's a Glock.
Okay, I just want to so everybody out there know.
So
they,
one of-
they have the cool lanyard loop on it. Jay, what if you tell me about my 19X? You're like, what the hell? What the hell is this still going on here?
Why is that still
I think you even found like something like a fork and just took mine off that day.
Yeah, you know, like Bubba Boy says, look, the 320 is a solid design. There's no doubt about it. Again,
It feels good.
there's that underlying issue. Like I just,
If you can't trust a firearm,
yeah, like.
find something else.
You know,
Personally,
and that's
SIGs don't
that's
fit
the
me
problem. That's the real problem with the SIG is that is like people are shooting 400, 500, 600 rounds, no problems, and all of a sudden they're putting it in their holster, walking around, and it's going off, or they drop it and it's going off. And you know, I can understand. Well, not really, but I get it. If at the initial, which was what happened, they had the drop safety issues.
Yeah.
But then, like a year goes by, and now we're still having
It's
issues,
not
or
been a
2
year.
years. I know it's been 2 or 3
It's
years.
been like 5 or 6.
I
at
was
this
gonna say
point.
it's been
So
almost
you know,
5.
to Bubba's point, if it works, it's great until it doesn't work, and we're just not seeing that with other guns.
Well, and here's the other thing that happened when that issue first happened with SIG, and correct me if I'm wrong, SIG denied it.
They did. They
Yeah.
fought it hard.
Well, they
fought
probably
it
had
hard.
to.
They basically-
They're like, no, there's no way.
There's like mechanically, it's not possible.
I think what happened was an independent company came up and did an actual video on it.
They did.
And they showed.
I think it was actually a YouTuber. It was a YouTuber.
So
Yeah,
did,
the
they,
YouTube
did, they,
guy.
did they just deny it because essentially they were like, oh, we knew.
well,
this, but
so
we
so
sent it.
here's
I think they just
what
don't
they
have
were
to deal with the
saying.
repercussions of.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, and their initial response, to be fair to them, is you know there are lots of cops that end up having negligent discharges
Sure.
when they're holstering or other things like that.
don't
And
just
they
brush
blame
it
it
off
on,
and say, let me investigate it. You know.
and then they blame it on the gun, and then you know it's so.
So at that
I
point
understand
in time,
that.
it was a 50-50 kind of thing. Hey, it could be us, it could be that guy.
But I do think there was a point where they realized it was a thing, and then they
They're still
continued
denied
to.
it.
But
Yeah.
you know,
They didn't.
they got a
they didn't
business to run.
redesign it.
Well,
or
SIG
anything.
is notorious for letting its consumers test its product for them and then redesigning it.
Yeah,
You know,
and,
they're notorious.
again, I'm not here to bash SIG or anything else. I think they make some really great products, and I think every single company out there, I doubt they would have reacted differently if they make a design flaw.
I mean, you carry one of their products every day.
Yep.
So
Yeah. So there's that. What else we got here?
That's the one that he had up for a while right there.
that's Travis.
Oh,
Yeah.
are the triggers that they are that good? I got to be honest with you.
in the-
I was going side by side between
They crispy.
the dynamic performance trigger and my flat Apex triggers, and I definitely in the steel frame. The steel frame does feel a little bit different than. I would say that this polymer match with the dynamic performance trigger is equal to the Apex. At least in this particular gun,
In the steel frame.
in the steel frame,
Right.
and in this gun, I can't speak for every single gun out there, but this trigger feels better than my $200 Apex triggers, the flat Apexes
Now-
that I put in all my guns.
Just asking for the flat trigger, the dynamic whatever
Performance.
trigger, performance trigger. How does it compare to these other triggers?
These curved triggers are some of the best stock triggers. They have the shortest amount of travel. They have a solid, super crisp break. They have a really short reset. They're better than a stock Glock trigger. They're better than a stock M&P trigger by even the new M&P triggers, which are much better. They're definitely better than the SIG triggers. They're the best by a long shot, the best striker fired out of the box triggers that I've ever used.
That's big
And-
coming from you.
Yeah, I mean,
The
they're
reset's
good.
what surprised me most out of it. It's nothing. It's nothing.
Yeah.
It's
When
great.
you're doing a staccato review, I don't know if I'm gonna do a staccato review. I may do a staccato comparison. I don't have one.
Well,
But what I do have is the I do have one of the MPA
yeah,
2011s. I've been
2011.
meaning.
That would be a nice review.
That gun feels.
I've been meaning to do a review on that.
That'd be a nice
And I don't know.
comparison.
I forget about it when I have time, and then I often don't have time.
Gentleman that won the Fat Boy giveaway, it was SF guy too. He said he had a staccato. You could,
Yeah, Santiago.
Yeah, Santiago.
Oh.
Santiago.
I had a name, brain fart. I couldn't remember.
Thoughts on Geisley triggers? There's better triggers out there. Geisley used to have some of the best triggers out there. They've kept the same lineup of triggers for the most part. I have a Geisley in one of my guns that's 7, 8, 9, 10 years old. Now you have brands out there like everything from Trigger Tech to, there's a bunch of them out there.
Elfman.
The Elfman trigger. The Elfman trigger is by far the best AR trigger out there, period. It's a single stage. I like single stages. I think you should put single stage in everything. I know people, they get wrapped up around, what's the point of the first stage? Like, if you're putting your finger on the trigger, you need it, anyways, I'm not
Does
digressing.
Geisley? I have a Geisley in my
They're good triggers. They're
18
good
inch
triggers.
223 Wild AR. But do they make pistol triggers at all? Or are they strictly?
I don't think they
long
make
gun?
pistol triggers. If they did, they just started.
Okay, I didn't know.
I haven't looked at them in a long time
See,
because
I don't
again,
mind mine, but I haven't broadened my horizon as you have.
It seems like
I have
from the brands that
ability
we carry, a trigger company either makes pistol triggers or they make rifle triggers.
So they stick to their lane.
That's what it seems like to me.
I didn't
like
know,
Apex
because-
only makes like pistol triggers, and then like
Well-
Trigger Tech and Elfman that we carry.
I'm sure
only
there's-
seen-
Well, that's what
I'm
I'm
sure
because
there's exceptions to the
we've been
rule.
talking
I'm
about
sure.
pistols, so it's kind of like threw me. Like, do they know a Geisley triggers on
I
a pistol? I don't know.
We're talking about triggers, and we all have ADD. It goes up like over here. But yeah, so
We all
the
do.
point is that Geisley is a good trigger. There's better triggers out there for the money right now. What else? As far as concealment, are they a little chunky? Are they better for?
They look
Yeah.
a little
So
thick.
they as I stated
Summer, I'm ready
in the
to
review.
get-
As I stated in the review, they're 1/10 of an inch thicker than Glocks, and they're about 8/10 of an inch thicker than, or 8/100ths of an inch thicker than the M&P. So they are thicker. This is not ideal for, but a full size Glock. I don't care if you even talk about a Glock 19 and a full size M&P. They're not ideal for inside the waistband. You want a thinner.
Right.
I've heard that there might be some things in development as far as a single stack. I don't know.
On the
I heard a rumor.
on the PDP line.
On the PDP line.
Oh, you
but-
did talk to Walther.
But these, what I can tell you is I didn't hear that from them. I heard it through the rumor mill.
Through the grapevine.
Yeah, so these are not, you can, just like people, do inside the waistband, appendix carry, Glocks, full-size Glocks, full-size MPs, you can. I don't think you'll notice that big of a difference. They are a little bit thicker, but, it's a 1/10 of an inch to 8/100ths of an inch. So it's not that big of a difference.
Well, you can look at that between summer and winter carries,
I thought
Yeah.
you were about to say.
I thought you were going to her. I was like,
All right, if you're calling me thick, Jason, I'm gonna come fight you.
I'm about to leave.
I know you're just spitting truth.
No,
but
so I have no word on the availability. They sell them directly through Walther, as far as I can see. I
just
didn't
the
see.
trigger.
Yes.
Oh.
I didn't see. My wife doesn't watch my reviews.
I haven't had
doesn't
time
like
to watch the review.
Do they come standard on the full size, the two full sizes?
So the dynamic performance trigger comes standard in all the steel frames. No, that's not true.
I was gonna
In the
say.
match.
Yeah.
In the
Okay,
match.
in the matches.
Yeah.
Okay.
In the match guns. So that's what they come standard in. If they're available on Walther's website, you guys know what I know. Whatever I put out that's as far as, I didn't call them up to see if they're available. I didn't look to see if somebody's stocking them somewhere. Walther sells them directly. If they have them available, you can buy them from there. That's all I know. What else we got? Mike says plus on the Elfman. Elfman is no joke. It's the best. It's the best AR trigger I've ever used.
Even I like shit.
Let's see, Jeff over there said I tried my first 2-stage trigger on an AI. It's different, but I'm digging it. Some people like them. Not my cup of tea. There's nothing wrong with them. If you like them, great. It doesn't make anything wrong.
When are reloading supplies hitting the store? Whew, I don't know about that.
You got a little bit there.
Start carrying all the.
You got a little bit there, Gary.
Well, those
I
are
don't
my-
think it's enough to stock
That's
the
his
are my
store.
personal.
I was gonna say, can't get high on your personal.
Jeff, I got so many other things in the irons in the fire that we got money just going out
We got
faster.
a staccato now. There's some money. You got
You guys are really good.
We got a bunch of money. We got a bunch of money worth of Walther
Walther's
coming in.
coming in.
Caracal.
Caracal.
I still got to pay that bill.
Here's
You need to get some more red dots.
as
in to
soon
go
as I
on,
sell
Walthers.
everything that we have in stock, we'll have the money to reinvest
Yes.
and buy
So you
reloading
gotta sell the
supplies.
store out, then it's reloading time.
Y'all just all show up at the store and I will freaking start.
Throw up
selling.
Ronaldo Valiant, Valance.
Vaillant.
Yeah,
That
Viant.
is a fancy name.
They've been out of stock for the last 6 months. I've had the PDP full size. Yeah, so if that's the case, that's the case. That you know more than I do, buddy.
Ronaldo, you have the M&P that we sold you that had the Apex trigger put in it and everything like that. How do you feel about that compared to the PDP? Since you have experience with both.
While he's typing his answer, throw up
Wow, Swick was behind one.
Fraser
I didn't
Lordley.
realize that.
sure, you can throw that one up. The Henry Long Ranger. I've never knew what a bad trigger was.
Now I do.
You know, we learn something from every piece of equipment and everything that we do, right? Sometimes it's
Learning.
gives us a comparison, puts things in perspective of what's good and what's bad.
The first horrible trigger. Oh, it's a 380.
Keltec.
No,
Bodyguard.
it was a bodyguard.
Ah,
yeah.
There you
okay.
go.
The bodyguard.
Same difference.
I was like, what in the? Oh, terrible.
I had a quarter-mile pool.
Woo! Man.
Buddy D says, what trigger would you put in a Delta, Daniel Defense Delta 5 Pro? Either the Trigger Tech Diamond or the Bixen Andy. Folks, I'm getting ready to release the video on
Andy.
the new actions. Hand me that action over there.
Are we allowed to touch that?
Yes,
one?
I don't know. It's not a firearm. So I'm getting ready to release a video on the upgraded PMR Pro 2s. I'm going to go over the new actions, the arc action, as well as their new triggers. Throw up the overhead cam. So this is the new arc action. I actually asked MPA to send me an action so I can go over the details of this, as well as show you everything that you need to know about the new Bixen Andy triggers. These triggers are every bit and better than the Diamond, the Trigger Tech Diamond, which I thought was probably the best trigger that I would ever come across. So this feels like that. There's a little bit more adjustability on this. There's some other key
really hard
key
to see.
features of this. I know it's hard to see. So long story short, that video is coming up. I'm going to talk about the new American rifle action that is now on the MPAs. And we're going to go over some of the other new features of the MPA. So they've done a great job with this. I just tell you right now, it's overwhelmingly positive. If you want the best rifle that you can buy for under $2,600, and I'll say this, I've said this, and I truly believe this, folks. If you want a long range rifle and you want a $3,500 plus rifle for $2,500, get a PMR Pro 2.
26 now.
$2,600.
Inflation. Thanks, Joe Biden.
Thanks, Joe Biden. So you're getting a much better rifle that is, for all intents and purposes, custom hand-built rifle that is sold as a production gun. So you're not going to go wrong with the MPA PMR Pro 2.
Jeff,
Best gun for the money out
That
there.
arc is a coup de grace. He's asking.
Coup de grace.
Coup de grace.
Yep, that's what they come with.
That means it's fancy.
Yep.
Fancy smancy.
What
I'll
other
tell you
ones?
What I want to keep, I keep wanting to get my hands on is
Tell
that
us.
Daniel Defense H9.
I thought you were going to say my butt.
Oh my God, that took
I've
a
been
turn.
there already.
Oh Jesus! Lord,
Is the arc coup de,
We're
is
just
that
gonna
arc
skip
a
over
coup
that.
de grace?
We're just gonna roll. Yeah,
As
Gary's
long as
already
you
into
say
another
good
comment.
game, As long
He's
as you
like,
say good game.
You said
That the arc is the
just
coup de
answered
grace.
that.
Okay.
Team 55MX says, do you switch out triggers for all weapons so you have the same action?
I don't know that I've made a conscious decision to necessarily do that, but what I do know is that I like single action. I like single stage triggers for everything. I like flat triggers for everything. So pretty much a flat. I have a couple of Glocks that I've kept stock, so that when we're training law enforcement or somebody that I know is just going to end up with a stock gun, they're not going to put money into it. I also change out the sights on all my handguns. You definitely want, and I don't know if I'm going beyond the depth of the original question, but yeah. So flat triggers going on all my guns. Single stage where appropriate. You obviously are not really going to get a single stage out of a pistol. It is essentially a 2-stage trigger.
No, correct me if
yeah.
I'm wrong, because I probably am.
You are.
These sites don't look like co-witness sites, so
They're not on these particular.
you would have to switch these out.
Yeah, I covered it in the review. You should watch that.
I did see that much.
So like if you're going to get these pistols, you're going to put something other than. There's a couple of sites out there that will allow you to co-witness the stock. I don't like the stock sights on these anyhow. I would change them out no matter what. I'm not into 3-dot sight systems.
That one looks like it.
That it does.
Yeah.
And again, I covered that in the review.
Okay, well, I'll go watch it
That,
as soon as I have time.
And the other thing too, Summer, is that I think that might be based on the optic that's on that.
Yeah,
Because the
that
SROs
optic
are
is-
so tall in the back.
Yeah, that optic's much flatter. sitting
Well, that
down.
optic was made for that gun.
Right.
It's a Hollow Sun PDP optic.
And I just want to go back and say that
I should watch the video. I know.
no,
I got it.
I'm not. That's what I want to say. I'm just going to say the old fat boys are made to fit these Walthers for zero.
They are. They
was-
made zero and easy.
That
on
was
these.
ingenious.
It's the only kind of thoughts I have.
I'm going
TC
I'll
says,
walk home.
Gary, I want an MPA, but I normally shoot 300 Win Mag. Have you shot one in that caliber? I have not shot 300 Win Mag. I mean, all of them are going to be, number one, the PMR Pro 2 has a half MOA guarantee. You're probably going to have to play around with some ammo, just like with anything else. As long as the ammo will do it, the gun will do it. Keep that up for me so I don't lose my train of thought for a second. My question to you is,
My bad.
there are 300 Win Mag's great and all, but there are a lot better rounds now than 300 Win Mag. I would highly push you toward 300 PRC. You're going to get better overall ballistics. It is a newer round. It is a modern round that has a longer ogive, so you're going to get much better ballistics with less recoil. If you want 300 Win Mag, you can definitely get it. They're going to shoot as good as anything, if not better. Their higher grade rifles actually are guaranteed 3/8 MOA or better. I mean, just about every single rifle PMR Pro 2 that I've gotten, I've shot playing around with ammo, box ammunition. I've got it under a third. Most of them like a quarter MOA. If you can get good ammo. Right now, ammo's a problem with it's a problem. What else? I would definitely look into 300 PRC if you really want that the higher, 30 caliber round, Magnum round. 300
there-
PRC is going to outperform 300 Win Mag by a lot.
There's, I think it was Kevin
had-
that stopped by the store. There he is.
Had come up with his comeback with the PDP.
PDP feel a lot crisper and better reach. Feel a big difference between both. Yeah. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Like,
Ronaldo.
yep. I mean, the PDP is a freaking great gun.
Yeah, riding the wave. That was. I think it's Kevin. I'm really terrible with names.
Gary
Apologize.
Chris, worst recoil shoulder
it
fired
came in the
weapon. That,
store.
I know mine.
That put me in my place. I haven't found it yet.
I know mine.
I don't think anyone exists.
I'll be honest. Go ahead. I'll be honest.
The highest recoil that I've ever shot.
I'm trying to think.
I don't know. I mean, technically it's 50 cal. I don't find it.
Have you
that-
shoulder fired that?
Yeah, I've shoulder
Yeah.
fired, standing up. I've done mag dumps, just
I
shooting.
used to
But
have.
that's-
I used to have a
that's
picture
gas
on my
recoil,
desk
right?
of you
Yeah.
holding the 50.
Say the one I shot is my uncle has it. It was a 7mm mag. That bolt.
Rattle your teeth.
Yeah. I'll say 7mm mag bolt gun. Woo! That'll make you feel like a man.
The highest
Jesus.
the highest recoiling gun I own is probably the 4570, and that's not bad.
No, that's probably
That
actually,
thing makes me. I have to fight
Have
to
you-
keep staying.
The
Do
300
you have
the
you ever
300
racked that one?
PRC is remarkably soft shooting. We got a video of my son when he was 8 years old shooting that. He shot 15, 20 rounds of that, no problem.
We'll have to get our hands on like a 4-bore shotgun.
Well, yeah, let us know when we can get
338 Lapua mag.
I do have a
338.
Yes, it exists. No, I've shot 338 Lapua. I mean, it had a big break on it. I didn't really have a problem.
That's 7mm.
I do have a 300 PRC MPA Matrix rifle available for sale too, if anyone's interested.
Wink.
What's
wink.
that?
I have a Matrix.
Yeah, so Ronaldo says it right there. Throw that up there. All right, and he, I took a lot of shit for this. even though I love Apex, we're an Apex dealer, is he says, I love the trigger on the
already said
PDP.
that, yeah.
Although it's curved, it's crisper, sharper reset, and better reach than the Apex. So, you know, I mean, there's two people.
There's two people.
You know,
So there you go. Two people.
I think you know that you've done a good review as far as a fair review when you're taking it from both sides on that. That sounds weird.
Yeah, that sounded really bad.
All right.
Really bad.
Y'all have a good evening.
I regret that.
It's a family show, Gary. Damn.
I regret the words that come out of my mouth. You know, and a lot of those I just delete. But, you know, I had people saying I was a fanboy of the PDP. I had people saying that, I had one guy basically saying that I was unfairly criticizing the PDP. You know, I'm always like, I don't get emotionally attached to guns or equipment or brands. I don't care.
And here's the other thing. I know we've talked about this on the live stream before. Is people are going to be like, "Oh, well, you are only saying that because you're a Walther dealer or you're selling the PDP."
Yeah.
Guess what? We didn't put these on our website. We didn't have anything Walther on our website until he had hands on this and was that impressed.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Order some PDPs right now. These things are amazing." So
I felt like that was a little bit of a Joe Biden moment. You were like, guess what, people?
shut up.
I did not.
Why do you keep calling me
just-
Joe Biden tonight?
That's like the second time
I don't
you've
even
heard
look
about
like him.
And you know
I didn't
what?
say, I
And
didn't know.
here's-
I said, she said somebody came in the shop. I was like, it was Joe Biden.
No, here's the other thing too is you were sick when these came in, so you must really like them because you were
I was.
not in a good mood.
No, I was super sick.
Chris said you are not.
You were not.
I was
you were
not.
having a.
I was sick as
He was
sick as hell.
having
Not
a
fun to be around.
shitty time.
Yeah.
All right, who these came in? But I'm just saying.
Let's
So there
get back
must be something
to
about 'em.
let's go back to talking about any other pistols, but I also want to talk a little bit about holsters, accessories, and things like that. And just I'll throw some suggestions out there, things that I recommend, and Jason and Chris and anybody else can give their opinions on some of the stuff too. But you know, one of the big things is making sure that you do have a good holster. I do carry, and you know, YouTube, I'm not touching a gun, I'm touching a holster. You know, I'm a big fan. Not everybody is physically built to where they can, but you know, appendix carry a gun. If you start getting into, if you come to one of our courses, for instance, where we have you shooting from a seated position, we have you shooting from inside a vehicle and things like that. Appendix carry shows you how much quicker. Also, an appendix carry draw is going to be faster. There's no doubt about it. So that's just something to consider if you can do it. Again, I know not everybody can.
Come on.
You know, again, appendix carry without a doubt is the fastest and the most versatile draw position there is, period. So get you a good appendix carry holster. If you can't do that, again, inside the waistband or whatever else, but make sure you're doing some research on holsters. The other thing that you need to realize, and this is one thing we talk about in our concealed carry courses, folks, is holsters are like tennis shoes, right? Or shoes, period. You know, you need different holsters for different situations. You're probably going to want, and it's very handy to have, a good ankle holster. It's really nice to have an outside the waistband holster. During the winter, if you can carry a full-size gun and you can cover that up with the jacket, always going with a full-size gun is the best way to go. The bigger the gun, more capacity,
bullets.
easier it's going to shoot. But, you know, take some time on that. And again, we have holsters. We only carry holsters we've tested. And that's one thing I haven't done a lot of reviews on, but we do have G-code holsters in.
Safari
We have
Land.
Safari Land. We just recently became a dealer for crossbreed holsters. They make some good concealed carry outside and inside the waistband holsters.
We have CompTac as well.
CompTac-
CompTac makes a really
The
good
CompTac
appendix carry.
Infidel inside the waistband
Ultramax.
appendix carry is one of the best holsters out there. I got several of those. Yeah, so you know, spend some time on holsters, practice drawing from different positions, take a course where they're going to put you through some of that stuff. I think it's really important to do that.
You want to hate on me for my summer carry spot?
In the back, small of your back.
Yup.
No,
No
don't carry in the small of your back.
I have to.
Don't be
I have-
Chris.
There is too much
have
stuff
to.
rolling over.
You can go to the 3 o'clock or 9 o'clock.
Nah.
You gotta start coming on. We gotta start doing some PT, buddy. We gotta get you skinny.
We got a good driveway for that.
You
Chris.
see this, Gary? That's what I like. I enjoy
Priorities,
that.
Chris.
Johnny Utah likes that Walther PDP too.
Johnny, throw Johnny's comment up there. Johnny says, I'll admit,
Actually
I'm a
talked to him on
fanboy.
Facebook,
Walther
yeah.
PDP, they're great guns. Probably pissed off the Glock fanboys without a doubt. No, you know who I pissed off? I pissed off a couple Canic fanboys. They were like, yeah, you poo-pooed on the Canic. Like, man,
Well, there's
get
a
out
lot less of them than there Glock.
here. There was 3 of them, and they all showed up and watched the video.
I was gonna say there is very few of them boys.
What else? Yeah, tier one holsters makes some really good holsters. One of the holsters I just ordered today, and I'm gonna give a shout out to them because of the great, awesome customer service. I called them up on the phone. I wanted a duty holster for one of these, and I wanted to get it by this weekend because I plan on running this gun during the course this weekend. And that was DARPA.
Maybe.
Hold on.
This was an
me get
unauthorized
this.
purchase, by the way.
Yeah, I was. I had to do it on the slide. Dara, DARA holsters. One of the few companies I found.
Dara.
One of the few companies I found that made a level 2 retention holster on it, a duty holster that will also fit the RTI wheel for the G code, which is what I have on most of my guns.
Oh,
So
cool. It does, huh?
it does.
That's cool.
I know. I buy the cool stuff.
Oh.
Great customer service. I talked to the guy. He was super great. They offer a lot of holsters on the duty type holsters and different levels of retention, different configurations for a lot of guns out there that you're not going to see. I saw pretty much everything. We carry Safariland and G Code. G Code pretty much only has like SIG, Glock, and M&P, and a very limited selection of those. So
Yeah,
it was.
they do.
Hopefully we get this Dara holster in, and I told him, I was like, man, if you guys are good, we'd like to become a dealer. So I'll get that in. I'll test that out. But I love the selection they had. They had a wider selection than anything else. So they're definitely worth checking out.
Where are they out of? Not that it matters.
North Carolina.
Oh, cool.
Yep.
So it's not too
Who's
far.
Hackathorn?
Yeah, Willie Everett, there's nothing wrong with Canics.
No shit.
Look, I mean, let's be real. Canics are not Glocks. They're not M&Ps. They're not duty guns. You're not going to see departments out there picking those guns up as of now. I think they'll probably get there. They have come a long ways. They make some great shooting guns. It is what it is.
What is this? I have a question about Hackathorn. His bio says Special Forces shooting instructor, but that's not the same as being Special Forces qualified.
Who's
Maybe
know
he was
who
just a shooting
Hackathorn is.
instructor for Special Forces.
There's no shooting instructors for
Yeah.
special
I don't know.
forces that aren't special forces.
Now we're gonna have to-
I mean, they might have. Who's
Went to-
Hackathorn?
I don't know.
I don't know who
Googling.
Hackathorn is.
I'm losing.
Unless
I'm
it's
losing
like,
context on that. I don't know who that is.
Yeah.
Unless
I
it's
thought
like
you would've known him.
when we go out to those like just civilian courses and they've trained.
Yeah,
us.
like
Yeah.
we contract some people.
Oh, apparently
Yeah.
the number one Google thing was Ken Hackathorn in the military.
I don't know who's
I don't know who
Ken
that is.
Hackathorn served as U.S. Army Special Forces
Where'd this conversation
small
come from?
arms
I don't know.
instructor, a gun sight instructor, and NRA police firearms
Oh,
instructor.
look.
Oh well, NRA.
There you go. That's
knew it.
where
Well,
everybody does.
Sheesh.
Yeah, I don't
There
know.
you go. He worked for the.
I don't know who this
He's got to
is.
be legit.
So
I'm telling you.
when we have
Big
sword and
guns
products
on 'em.
in stock, babe, when we have sword and products in stock.
Oh God.
That's a great question. Soon.
Talk to the boss.
The new ones aren't going to be out for a few months.
Yeah, when you go to our website, we have ordered some of the Supremes. We're waiting for those to get in. When those come in,
The
they'll be on.
T3s that are the new,
I know.
the new will be
Yeah.
a while.
Yeah, I think
Like
those don't
August, I
get
think.
released till like August.
Yeah.
Ken Hackathorn, do you guys allow Canadians to come? Yes, we do. So the deal with that is if you are from out of the country, the U.S. law states you have to be here
With a
to use a
hunting
firearm. You basically need a hunting license. So you can get a hunting license. We've had several people from out of country come there, get a hunting license.
And then they're able to handle
And then
a
they're able
firearm
to
in
use
the
a
US.
firearm.
Yeah.
Yeah, the NRA, look, the NRA has some real problems. I've talked at length about that. I'm not going to ad hominem that altogether. But they're not what they used to be, and they're not an organization I would spend money on. Hopefully, with Wayne leaving, I doubt it, we'll see some changes because they are an American institution that I would love to see do great things again. There are some great people at the NRA. With that being said, I think they're wholly corrupt, and they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing, or they're doing just enough. They do just enough to get in the news every now and saying, "Hey, we're doing something." But you see much smaller organizations like GAO and all these other real gun rights activists, organizations that are doing much more with a lot less money. What else? Hackthorne is associated with Vickers. Gotcha.
Yeah,
what's to
he's
come?
basically served.
I've heard of Ken Hackthorne. I just don't know who he is.
Says he served as an
Yeah.
instructor for them, but
Yeah, who
I'd,
was
I'd,
it?
I'd have to go with he's just one of those guys that were hired to teach.
You know, and the problem,
knows?
and no, that's almost guaranteed. If
Yeah.
you say SF instructor, you know that is a deceptive line
Yeah.
that you're intentionally putting in there to
Yeah.
project something that you're not.
Right.
All right. I didn't see that, Jeff. So I'm sure it's all over the place. Yeah, if you're coming from out of the country, I definitely wouldn't bring your rifles. Use one of our rifles. It'll be cheaper, easier for you anyhow. You'll end up, I think we charge what, $250, something like that for
$225.
$225 for renting our rifles. It'll save you from having to carry it through the airport, save you
10 times easier.
excess baggage, all that good stuff.
But those sell out fast, so if you're wanting one of those,
We're going to have to get some more of those.
yeah, I know.
All right. The other thing I want to talk about, I think it's really important, and I've talked about this in the past. Folks, if you're carrying a gun, and I don't care if it's concealed carry or everyday carry or home defense, I'll just tell you right now, in my opinion, if you don't have a light on that gun, you're wrong. You need a light on your gun. There's a couple of reasons for that. Number one, it's bad things happen at night most of the time, right? The other thing, even during hours of daylight, you can go from go outside to an inside where you don't know where the light switch is, or you can't get to the light switch, or the light switch is all the way across the room. When you go into that structure, you need to be able to see what's going on. On
the
top of
power's
that,
out.
having that light on the end of that gun is going to help you manage recoil. It's going to reduce recoil. It's going to help you shoot better. And you need to be used to shooting with that light on it. And practice with it regularly so that you're not having to think about it. The last thing that you need to be doing is either trying to attach a light when you need it. That's silly. Or B, running around with a flashlight in one hand and a gun in the other. It can be done. There's plenty of shooting techniques that you can do that, and we teach that. It is less than optimal. Most people can't shoot a handgun well with two hands, much less with one hand. And now you're running around with a flashlight in one. Now, do I say with everyday carry that you should have another flashlight? Yeah, a flashlight by itself is a awesome tool for self-defense. On top of that, if you're out changing a tire or something like that, you want to have your gun light out there pointing it and using that as a utility light, right?
We've done
So I actually have never done that, but I'm sure there are people who have. With that being said, so having this flashlight is a force multiplier. It gives you, if you're not ready to go to lethal force, this is less than lethal force for sure. Sometimes you can't carry a gun. All over the world that I went, I carried a good tack light, a knife, even when I couldn't carry a gun in other countries. And again, there's lots of utility with a good tack light. On top of that, this is a legit
You have one
self-defense
that has
tool.
very aggressive.
This
yeah.
this isn't the one I normally carry.
Yeah.
It's upstairs. But this is, again,
I don't even know what
you
that's
need to have
called.
those.
I don't know, I forget what it's called.
Yeah, I don't
Where
know
you
what
can
it's-
whack somebody in the forehead
Yeah.
with it and it'll lay them open.
Yeah.
The bezel. So another thing that I just got in. Okay, got a man purse.
Oh my God.
I got two man purses.
That might fit my AR-9 in it.
Got another man purse. All right,
That'd be
I got
sick.
two of the same ones. I kind of like the size of these. I'm kind of testing these out.
That's
But
not bad. Who
with-
makes that?
Inside here, folks, I actually have a full-size pistol.
Don't touch it.
I'm not.
Let me go get a
Inside here is.
pot holder.
I have it open. Inside here is a full-size pistol.
Oh, it's got a holster in it too.
It does have a holster in it. You want
Well,
your
or
gun in
a
holster.
retention. Let's just say retention.
The other thing
now.
that we need to get better at carrying is med gear, right? So I have all the med gear I need in here. I can put additional knife. I can put. I mean, my God, you
I was
carry all
having
kinds
this
of stuff.
discussion with a college student today. And I was like,
huge,
you should be
You can
having
get them
a
smaller.
No, but I'm saying no. I'm saying that's huge. That I think my side folding AR-9 could fit in that with the 4-inch barrel on it.
Sure, maybe. Yeah.
That's it's tasteful. I guess I would say it's not as like, hey, look at me, I have a tactical sling on.
And that's what
You
I
know
liked
mean?
about this.
That's
And,
the
Yes.
thing.
and honestly, you can go and I'm probably going to order a couple more that are like almost half the size of this. This isn't huge. It's low pro, but you can go even
It's-
smaller
it's
than this.
thin.
And carry a lot. You'll be much more capable. You have all your med gear in here. You can have extra ammo. anything you can imagine, a water bottle.
But you have a full frame in there right now.
I have a full frame.
So
Yeah.
that's not hateful.
Yeah.
What
No.
I like about it is it doesn't look tactical.
That,
so
that's
it
why I
doesn't-
said it. Just
doesn't
looks like
scream, yeah.
it looks like it could say JanSport on it.
Yeah.
You know what I
Right.
mean?
Correct.
And you're just that's your fanny pack.
This looks a little Gen Alpha, so Gen
Men-
Alpha doesn't carry guns.
Men,
Oh, he's definitely an alpha.
one of our instructors, Mo, actually has a smaller. It's probably about half the size of that.
So you go to that color and you're like,
It's the one that he had was a Patagonia one. It's probably about half the size of this, but he actually had two different IFAKs in that. He had a full size gun in there, an extra magazine. I mean, my God, you can carry a lot
was
of
it made
stuff.
for the Patagonia? Had that
No,
made for?
no.
That's what I was gonna
Nope,
say.
it was a
I
Patagonia.
didn't think so.
So he had found where they had a rigid piece of Kydex that had that fit down in there, and then it had Velcro on there to where he could put a Velcro holster.
and then click.
Yep, clicks right in.
Okay, that makes sense. I didn't think Patagonia liked the arms of the fire. But no, that's actually this color scheme. That doesn't look. You could rock that.
TC, I don't think that there's. I don't know if you could put a plate in that or not. There are some backpack plates out there that might. We carry Defender plates,
Your Defender plate would fit in there, Gary.
and they make those are the large ones. So they make smaller, thinner, flatter.
I mean, I'll just show you. If you take go to that top camera, maybe.
It's too wide. That's not gonna-
You could squeeze that in if you
Probably.
really wanted that in there.
and again, I'll tell you, they make both more narrow and smaller backpack plates that would definitely fit in there. So
that's
the answer is yes.
That's close for sure.
The answer is yes.
That was a cool idea.
Folks, one of the other items, and then we're actually going to give away a couple of these tonight too, since we did hit 50,000. These are the Neo Mag. Big fan of these. I've been meaning to do a video. We actually have a bunch of products that I've tested, I've used, I really like. I've been meaning to do a video on them. I haven't yet, but they are the Neo Mag, and basically, again, these are magnetic. They allow you to put your mag down into your pocket,
That's what I've been playing with all night.
and
Really cool. They're tight,
yeah,
but
it has spring steel.
I don't know if you can. I
There
mean,
we
you
go.
can see what he's doing, but
It allows you. You can't even see the actual magazine.
it looks
And-
like you have a pocket knife on you.
Yep,
That's all
looks
it
like a
is.
pocket knife. And there
Or
again,
a flashlight,
I can-
whatever.
I know you guys can't see that, but let me back up a little bit.
Yeah, it just looks like
So
a
you-
flashlight, pocket
We just got a
knife,
clip,
whatever.
but there again, I can reach down in there, pull out my mag, and those are good to go. So those are actually pretty slick. They make two different versions as far as depths, and I don't know if you guys can see this, but this clip is longer and will fit down deeper in your pocket than this one. So I'll tell you, this works much better for a full-size mag. This is going to work better, or it'll be adequate for a single stack. If you start getting into double stack with this,
Like 360.
you can see the top. It'll go down in your pocket, but it's going to push your pocket out a little bit more to where it won't conceal it completely. This will fit down. It slides down. It keeps the mag deep enough, even on a full-size double stack mag, to where it allows you to do that. They also have a bunch of other stuff, holster attachments and some other stuff that's really impressive. I haven't had a chance to do a video on it, but I will. But those are great accessories.
They're magnets, so they're not going to run Glock mag. Yes. So they're a magnet. They go to metal, but they're sweet.
Yeah,
I've been
Jeff.
playing with it all night.
Jeff, I do think 100% that the Caracal
That thing's cool.
will fit in this.
Yeah.
That thing is so freaking sweet. I can't wait to get those in.
I don't know about with the
Oh yeah, what's folding?
with the strike
did
industry.
you say
Yeah.
you're going?
Yeah.
Did you say you're going to order some of them?
What?
Maybe.
These?
I like that.
I don't know.
A lot.
I was like I said, I just got this in the other day,
Well, I might just take it home then.
and to be fair,
fair.
or to be honest, I got it in the other day. This is something I've been wanting to find, was a low pro sling bag that wasn't tactical looking. I just found one a few days ago. This came in a few days ago, and today was the first day I actually pulled it out, put a gun in it and stuff like that. But it's just been a work in progress that I wanted to talk about.
Well, I like that it can carry.
Because
a
we
full
should be
size.
carrying, yeah, you can pull full
That's
size,
what's
but
cool.
most importantly, you carry med gear, and you need med gear
Everything.
more importantly than a gun.
What I was saying earlier is I had this conversation with a college student today, and I was telling her you need to be carrying a tourniquet and some type of med gear with you on a
100%.
college campus.
Yeah.
She was like, oh.
Jeff, those are on the website.
They are.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all the Neomag stuff is on the website. I just haven't done a video on it yet.
Not a carton of
The
Marlboros.
smoke, just take them out of the carton. They'll
gotta-
fit in there individually, believe me.
It's got to be cigars.
I don't know if
Gotta
you're
be
asking,
cigars.
Jeff. I don't know if you're asking about those these sling bags. No, those are not on the website. I don't even remember who I ordered them from. I literally ordered those to test because I do want to start carrying some sling bags
I think you
like
was asking
that.
about the mag.
Boxers or briefs.
I'm a boxer brief guy.
Boxer brief.
I
Guy.
need some support when I run.
Will you get into optics? Will you get into optics?
For AR-15, like you do with
like
PRS
you do with
guns.
PRS guns.
Well, we have optics for.
I think he probably means like you're obviously doing reviews on
Yeah.
like Night
Yeah,
Force
so I've done
Seiko.
I've done low
You've done
LPV
LPVOs, yeah.
LPVO review. I did the Trigicon Credo. I need to do we have the Night Force 1-8 Attacker 1-8.
Yeah.
I need to do a review on that and compare that to the Trigicon. But the Trigicon, somebody asked earlier, a good low power variable optic for around $1,000 or under $1,000. I don't think you're gonna find a good one for under $1,000. But I think what you need to do is step up to like that $1,200-$1,300, which is what the Trigicon Credo is. We got them in our website. I think I would rather wait a couple months, save a couple extra bucks, because every single one of the LPVOs that I've tested that are under $1,000 just weren't good.
And we've had really good clients that were like, "Oh, I really want that Trigicon, but I need to save a few bucks," and they bought something else, and they came back to us and they're like, "I freaking regret it. I should
100%.
have put that money
100%.
toward the Trigicon."
Folks, all of us are too broke to buy cheap. Like these are life-saving
that's a well
quality
put sentence.
items.
Yeah.
Like save a little money, buy quality shit. You don't have to buy the top tier stuff. But again, that's why we do some of the reviews that we do.
Mm-hmm.
The Trigicon Credo 1-8 is hard to beat for the price.
Oh, and we're going to be, I'm kind of going off, it's optics category, but we're going to be a EOTech dealer. Or we are a EOTech
Yeah, I forgot
dealer.
about that.
We are an EOTech dealer, and we're also going to be an Aimpoint dealer. So we're working on that initial order as well. So,
Thanks.
Brink,
Throw
throw that.
big summer. What's the
So
buy-in for that?
again, I'm not going to recommend anything other than the Trigicon. I think that's the lowest that I would go for. If you're going to use that for home defense, for that you want is going to last you, is going to buy once, cry once. At $1,300 which is about, you might even be able to find it on sale for like $1,200.
Jason mentioned the Arkin one, but I've heard mixed things.
Okay,
about
the Arkin LPVO, every person that I've
BDC
talked to
reticle, right?
is absolute garbage. Absolute garbage.
Oh, there you go on that
yeah.
one. Jeez.
They're still mad at me over my awesome review for them.
Of
But
the EP5, we've had so many people that bought an EP5 because of that
yeah,
review.
they're still mad because I said anything. I'll never do anything with Arkin again just because of that, because of the attitude they gave me for pointing out the obvious, that they had some problems with theirs and that I had problems with tracking. Everything else was absolute, like you couldn't get more positive
We've been using
for the money.
Arkin.
And
That's what I said,
and I do need to do a
There's still
update on
Arkans up
that.
there.
We do need to do an update on it because I have had some major issues with that Arkin, by the way. It failed Noah on a culmination exercise.
Yeah, he was
And
really upset.
yeah, I know
was
that's not like,
that was a daddy. Noah needs to ride home with daddy day.
yeah. Look, the Arkin is good for the money. I'm not going to say anything bad about it. Like if you want to, if you get into long range, here's what I'll say. If you're not sure that you're ready to commit to long range, you can buy you a $500 Arkin. If you already know that you're into long range and you're going to be there for a while, spend the money. I'll just tell you like this. Here's my priority of what I would tell you. And this is if I was a dealer for them or not. Number one, like the low price one would be the Zeiss S3. That Zeiss S3 6-36, I will tell you right now, is right there on that, actually on the gun behind me, that camouflage gun.
yeah, the
Okay,
camo
that's
one.
my
Yeah.
Night Force Attacker 7-35. That's a like $4,200 optic. The Zeiss S3 6-36 first focal plane, is clearer than the Night Force Attacker. Night Force has some other things going for it. If I, it's There's some proven things. The only negative thing that I have to say about that $2,500 scope, literally,
we go.
is I don't like the aesthetics. Like form, like the function of that thing, the utility of it, the value of that Zeiss 6-36 is unparalleled at $2,500. So, you know, if you're serious about long range, that's where I would tell you to start, because that is an optic that you can keep for a lifetime. It's never going to hold you back. It's not going to fail on you. It has a lifetime warranty. The first 5 years, if you run it over with a truck, no fault warranty on the Zeiss. Right now, if you buy the Zeiss S3, 6-30, or any of the Zeiss S3s or S5s, it puts you in a running for 1 out of every 20 is going to get a free course to XP Long Range
We already
Academy.
have people purchasing
And
those.
it doesn't. And the big thing, it doesn't kill you on price.
No,
it doesn't.
it's
for the quality that you get for
and
that
you know,
price is
let's
insane.
not say let's
You
not
know what I
pretend
mean?
that $2,500 isn't a lot of money. It's a lot
Correct,
of money,
but still.
it's a good investment.
Just like we've talked before, it's like buying a quality used car. You could use it for a year and then hate it. You're going to use $100, $200 and
Yeah.
resell it. So that just shows there. It's like whatever your Toyota Tacoma out here that you're going to drive it for 10 years and you're going to get money back on it almost. You know, that's a nice gun. The glass in it is amazing too. That's
Touching back on bags for a second, Otter said Vertex has good bags that he likes
They do.
that are made
Vertex.
for carry.
Yeah,
They do.
Vertex.
My one problem with Vertex though is that like when I see a Vertex bag, I know,
I know
what's in it.
it looks
yeah.
it's
identifiable.
it's like a 511 bag.
Yeah, like
you know it's a
I
gun
see
bag.
Vertex, I know there's a gun in there,
You say, oh hey,
right? You know,
This you wouldn't know,
it's
dude.
basic to me. It's kind of like open carry.
Yeah, I mean, you know, if you're walking around with this,
that's
there's like a 60% chance
Yeah.
you're gay,
I didn't say it. I didn't
And
say
then-
it. That's what I was like.
and then like a 40% chance you're carrying a gun.
I don't know, I'm probably going 70
Or
30,
or
maybe 80-20.
yeah, you know.
But if they see you with the bag, they're
You
going to know
could-
you're carrying a gun.
Maybe
Well,
you're both.
first of all,
Dude,
First
then
of
you're
all,
a double threat.
what you do is, if you really want to diminish any chance if you get checked or like somebody thinking that you have a gun, you know, you just walk with a little sugar in your stuff.
You know what you do? You know what they need to
Put
do
a little-
is right
put a little
here.
sway in
They
there.
need to put a little
say
Velcro panel. Velcro panel, and then you put your little rainbow sticker or rainbow patch on it.
The moment now you're a
have that one.
tactical gay.
Hey, I'd rather be tactical gay than just gay. Tell me I'm wrong.
I'm just gonna stop, drop, and roll. I feel really weird now.
I feel all tickly inside.
Tom Cruise, save me, Tom Cruise.
Send you with your space signs.
Fraser Lord, what do you think of the Steiner M series? I need to review them. I haven't reviewed them. Generally, look, I love Steiner binos. Smith Bender, I've put in this category too, and I've shot a lot of Smith Bender. We actually were issued Smith Bender optics on the team.
Are they all German? They sound German.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whatever.
I'm just asking. I don't know. That's why I'm asking.
They're not America.
America. That'd be called Bubba's binoculars.
Here's what I can say for sure on the Smith Bender. The Smith Bender were issued to us. They were there to replace our Night Force optics. Those went out, tested. Just about everybody ended up going back to the Night Force because the Smith Bender were not very durable. We had tracking issues. We had them like you barely dropped them or anything else. You were losing zeros. So Smith Bender put a bad taste in my mouth on that. I'm just not. And again, it's been a long time. That was 12 years ago. So I need to give them another look. Same thing with Steiner.
Steiner's German.
Steiner is German. They are known for overpriced, underperforming optics. So take that for what it's worth, and that could be completely wrong with the new ones. That's just what I've experienced. The same thing with Swirl. So I have the Swarovski. Fraser Lordy up there is talking about his Swirl at 20-60.
Yeah. Tis very nice glass.
They
Very
are
nice.
unbelievable glass. We got Swirl spotting scopes. There again, there's a couple things with Swirl and really even with Smith and Bender to some extent, and the Steiners too, and this even goes to Zeiss to some extent. Ooh. They look very European. There's some aesthetics that I don't like about them, and the Swirls also have not been known for like hard use. A lot of folks are using all those names I talked about for F-class and bench rest shooting. You don't see them in a lot of action sports, and you don't see them on duty rifles, right? Whether they be law enforcement or any sort of military sniper operations for that reason.
Hey Gary, since we're kind of on the topic, I got a text from a buddy of mine the other day, Jonathan, and he said, watching Paramount Tactical's complete guided precision scope mounting video, man, he's got good content. That's a good shout out. Then he asked, I noticed he used mounts instead of rings. Is there a benefit to a mount over rings?
Yeah, so there is a major benefit to mounts over rings. You just know that, so, you know, and I've talked about this, and this is why, well, here's the thing. When you mount anything on a rail, you can have a perfectly flat rail, you can have perfectly flat, all those things can be working together perfectly, but when you start clamping that rail in, you'll get torsion in those single ring mounts, both front and back, and those can be different. So you get torsion going on differently. We'll see you, Jay.
Later, buddy.
Jay's got to go home and babysit. So
His own.
you will always be better off getting a single,
Cantilever.
yeah, just not a cantilever.
Oh, you know, I couldn't.
A one-piece mount.
One-piece,
All right, so a
there we
one-piece
go.
mount.
Yes.
You just know it's going to be straight and true. Those are machined out of one piece of
Billet.
aluminum or steel. Those are definitely just better overall. Yeah.
Awesome, thank you. He asked me that a few days ago, but I was going to wait until the
Yep.
podcast asked.
They're a lot nicer in mount too.
U.S. Optics are good. They've had some issues in the past. They have come out with some new stuff. I've just recently talked to some guys that are using the U.S. Optics. They have nothing but good things to say about them. That's something that I probably need to look at. You know, for me, we all get stuck in what we know, right? And I just, you know, it's the reason that I carry Night Force, because I know that they're consistent, right? They're always good. Do I think they need to make some updates and some of the stuff? Yeah, but you're not going to go wrong if you buy Night Force. You're not going to go wrong if you buy the Zeiss S3 or the S5. I guarantee that. You're not going to go wrong if you buy a Zero Compromise. You know, as far as just like, to me, the perfect optic right now, it's hard to beat that Zero Compromise. All the features they have on it, just love everything about it. There was a couple of folks that have had issues with the turrets locking up. I haven't experienced that. I think that's fairly rare. We had a client, he didn't buy it from us, but he was a viewer of the channel. He came and showed me his. We couldn't even reproduce, if I remember correctly, we couldn't reproduce it in the shop, but we went ahead and had him send it in. We kind of just worked out to where he sent it in. They went over it.
Excuse me.
I never got an answer of like what they fixed or if there was anything to fix or.
He's usually on here, but he's
Yeah.
not on here tonight.
So anyways, take that for what it's worth.
Jeff asked earlier where we're at on thermals, night vision, and
Yeah, I
lasers.
saw that one.
I have night vision and lasers.
Yep.
Thermals, I think, is.
So we got
And
PVS
they're
14s.
cool.
We're looking into thermals.
We had a thermal company stop by the shop recently and talk to us about some of their items.
Definitely something. So, you know, we're talking about, matter of fact, I was just texting Connor with Fat Boy, one of the owners of Fat Boy. We want to get out up north somewhere, and I think he's talking about South Dakota or North Dakota, where we'll go out and do a long range night course. And then that'll have a culmination into, you know, a coyote night hunt, which I think would be really cool, a lot of fun.
That sounds way too fun.
Yeah.
Especially when you get a take-home prize.
Right. So
Take-home pelt.
we'll look into that. We're definitely planning on getting into that. It's just we got so many other things. Now that training season started up, we'll see where we are in thermals. But we do have night vision. We do have
on the shelf,
IR
aren't
aiming devices. Yeah, we
Yeah.
have both of them. You want a PEC 15, we got you. If you want them all,
Sitting on the
we can
shelf.
take care of you. If you want PVS 14s, PVS 30s,
You get- yeah.
whatever you want,
Yeah.
just let us know.
But I currently have some items in stock ready to send you.
Bree says, oh, sorry, babe, I didn't mean to cut you off.
You always cut me off.
I know. Brinks that just bought the Aero Precision. I swear to God, Sean.
I'd say you're not even Jay, so I can't get too mad at you.
Just brought Aero Precision, the Solus 6.5 Creedmoor with Arc and EP5 does. You're right. If it works, I don't know. I haven't shot either. I haven't shot the Solus. There's a lot of hype about it. Looks like
Is
it's
that
a
Aero
good
Precision's foray into the
bolt.
bolt
Yeah,
action?
yeah.
I didn't know.
They're a pinky up gun.
Probably fine. And the EP5, again, it's not a bad optic.
I think we kind of addressed this earlier when
Oh,
Gary
yeah,
was
he
on.
did.
Yeah, already-
There's not
he
really
hit
Not really one under 1,000.
Don't waste your money on an optic under $1,300.
Yeah, we already did that one as
You did
well.
this hit the Steiner already.
You're so
yeah.
behind, Sean. You're
I know.
fired. You're rehired.
Favorite light?
Jay and I
What?
have a
See,
weird
you got what favorite light? What do you?
Favorite
For,
lights
like,
you use?
as far as handheld or pistol or
that's
both?
what I was gonna say.
All right, so
where you at?
for a pistol, I think there's just no other light than the Surefire X300. Just go with the Surefire X300. It's going to work. It's Streamlight. I've seen too many issues with those as far as a hard use duty gun. Now on the Streamlight for my concealed carry that I have over here, I do have the Streamlight TLR sub.
Right.
7 sub. That thing has been phenomenal, but that is not a hard use. As long as it's holding up to recoil and things like that, I have no issues with it. Do I wish that Surefire made a similar light with similar lumens, similar construction as that one? Yeah, I do, because Surefire is the standard for all lights. Do I think you need to spend a ton of money, Surefire, for handheld? No, there's so many other Olight, all those companies out there. They make great PowerTac, which is the one I've been using for like 6 years, 7 years now.
Yeah.
PowerTac rechargeable. It's 1,500 lumens. It's smaller than this.
And
It's
I've
worked
rarely
really
seen
good.
you have to recharge those batteries either.
They last a really long time.
Yeah.
Say I own my 19X for my home defense. I have the XC1, that little slimline. I like it better than the Streamlines, to be honest with you. I think it's brighter, but I think it's more of a, how would you say it? More compact spotlight,
Yeah.
you know, than the Streamlight. The Streamlight's more of a flood.
The you talking about the
The XC1, it's more of a flat one that's like right
yeah,
under
the Surefire?
Yeah,
XC1
the
is
Surefire
sure.
XC1. Yeah. I really like it's on my
Ultra
19.
compact.
So
It's on my 19X. I really like that one.
you'll have to next time you have that, we'll look at the difference in
Well,
brightness. The difference in brightness is
I just
huge.
bought the Streamlight 7
7 sub
7A.
Yeah.
7A
Yeah, for about 45.
That's
for the full size one. Yeah,
That's the
And
XC1.
I haven't put them sub. Yeah, that's exactly what
Yeah,
I'm talking about.
yeah.
That's what I have on 19.
that thing is
Oh,
dim as fuck.
It's been discontinued, by the way.
That
Is it
XC1
compared to that?
Oh, is not even in comparison.
Well, I have to
It's like
put them. I have to put them.
it's like a little candle compared to that.
Well, you know who I listened to on that one?
Oh, I'm sure.
He just left.
I know. you know, they were issuing those at State, and like people were complaining that they're not bright, not even close to what that
I mean,
is.
in the pitch black, they're probably fine.
Okay.
Well, I do some of my best work at the night. So.
All right. We'd love to do a segment on the channel about Red Dot Optics for law enforcement benefits and brand options. Let's do it now. I mean, Red Dot, look, at the end of the day, I think for a duty gun or concealed carry, in my opinion,
You're gonna go there.
you want a enclosed emitter. I don't care what brand you're going with.
Right there.
Go with an
Point
enclosed emitter. HoloSun makes some good options. I will say I just had my HoloSun EPS, the full-size one. I was shooting it when it was cold, and I noticed there was some fog on it. I went to wipe it off. The fog was internal, so I got to send that bin.
That's
And
actually in your video, I think.
it is.
Yeah.
But with that being said, somebody was telling me that their Aimpoint Acro, which is much more expensive, considered more durable, had the same issue. They're going to replace it. Things could go wrong.
Actually, yeah. I think it was our friend that said that.
Yeah. So
That the whole sheriff's department that's local to us had that happen on, I think, one or two of those.
Yeah,
That's
very
what they
possible.
went. On the brand new, they brought brand new guns, MOS guns, put those on there, and then they had one or two that already had that happen to them.
Yeah.
No, 100%.
So I think, you know, having an enclosed emitter is really important. Folks, you can get dirt, water, grease, I mean, whatever, blood, whatever.
Your video showed perfect.
In that, inside of that and block your emitter. I just think having an enclosed emitter is going to give you another layer of protection that's going to ensure that you have a optic ready to shoot when you need it. I have like these SROs, it's the first time I really spent a lot of time on the SROs, really impressed with them, really like them. I think they're great for a range gun, great for competition gun, a huge field of view, awesome. I wouldn't carry that for concealed carry. I wouldn't carry that in, you know, combat or law enforcement environment. I would want an enclosed emitter.
You know, and these would be a bucket for dust.
Yeah, and that's what happens, right, too, especially law enforcement or if you're concealed carrying them. Like, you get all kinds of dust and stuff down inside
Pocket
there.
lint, anything.
You know, belly button lint, all that stuff. So I think the way to go is, and honestly, if you go with a solid brand name, I don't think it really matters. You know, if you go with Trijicon, it's going to be good. If you go with Aimpoint, it's going to be good. The HoloSuns have done really well, especially for the price point. You get a ton of options on those.
Yeah.
Other than getting a little fog on the inside, which it was still usable, still able to see a target, still able to use the gun. But outside of that,
But it's warranted, right?
it is under warranty. I haven't sent it in or anything.
know, but
yet.
I'm saying it's warranted,
Yes, it
so-
is. I believe they have a lifetime warranty on them.
So
And again, the Delta Point Pro or the brand new, I mean, all those are great until you get mud, dirt, or something down in them.
Yeah.
And when you get,
well, these would fill up with almost an inch full of whatever.
Yeah, water.
You know, while it's holstered.
yeah, like
If it's open holstered,
literally,
if it's
it
anything.
takes one rainy, muddy day for you guys to see what's going on with an open emitter. Go train in a wet, muddy day. As it's sitting in your holster, that thing is collecting water.
Well, your video shows it perfectly.
Yeah.
There was water literally in it when you unholstered it, and then it runs out, and then
Yeah.
it's just a blur.
Yeah.
You know. So
Yeah, and then you get all kinds of, you get the surface tension on the inside where it's holding onto water. And I hear all the time, well, it doesn't matter after the first shot. Well, the first shot matters. Like,
that's the only shot.
it's probably the most important shot, right? We're not just doing a cold bore on your pistol in a defensive engagement.
Warm up.
Hey, hold on. We shoot in the ground first.
All right.
So I think enclosed emitters is the way to go. And I think it really does bridge the gap for the guys who are like, oh, my iron sights don't need batteries. Well, and my iron sights can't get broken. Well, they can get broken. And on top of that, there's so much of a tactical advantage with a red dot that's not funny once you get used to using a red dot. But I do think, an enclosed emitter gives you another layer of protection. And I think it's the way to go for a duty gun or any gun that you're going to, bet your life on. What else?
I talked to Jeff about this already. They aren't on the website. There's various reasons, but just let me know what you need. And,
Call and talk to the boss.
Yep.
I don't want to sell them anyhow. I just want them stored over there. I
mean,
Summer wants to sell them, but I just want.
That's not a bad thing.
I just want.
I will sell anything if I can get the
Gary,
right
I
price
want,
for it.
I want you to just
Summer-
stay here too.
Summer will sell this table out from underneath me.
I can buy another one.
If she can make $10 on
Can
this,
you
it's-
laser
it's gone.
engrave a scope, Jason? You probably. You definitely can. You definitely can.
You'd probably back it off, couldn't you? You could back the intensity.
I could. Yeah, I would go really low, and you definitely can.
And just hit it a couple times, see where
Yep,
it came
yep,
out right.
Yep. You definitely can. It's not a problem with that.
I wonder.
I'll just tell
I
you,
wonder if
that laser Gary's got is not low jack.
is not what?
Low jack.
No, it's
That
not.
thing is. I wish y'all could see it.
What else? Any other questions for handguns, holsters, lights, home defense?
Not that I saw.
Any gripes or
Med gear.
complaints about summer?
Any gripes or complaints about Summer
Y'all,
or Chris?
you
I
Summer,
can
you
read
do
all
have a full. Well, I would say a solid stock of Glock. Mm-hmm. Solid stock, because when I asked you about it, you ran the list off, and you ran off more than I needed.
We got like 25
I'll
Glocks
say
in stock,
solid
something
stock
like
of
that.
Glock, and plus the MOSs. She has the MOSs. You have MPAs on the shelf, hanging on the wall.
Yep.
You have that sweet. What's that one sweet gun you have
It's the
there?
M&P folding pistol carbine.
Yeah.
Is that the one you're talking about?
That one's
The
that's a sick
M&P.
gun. I wish I could afford to buy it tomorrow.
FPC folding
That's
pistol.
carbine.
that's an affordable gun.
I know, but I
Chris.
say I don't personally have the cash to be like, please take my money.
It's $600.
You just
I don't have Gary. I just
You're rich.
You just bought a
work for the
Glock.
government.
oh yeah.
You're rich off of what my tax
I can't
dollars.
afford this right now. So that's the only thing I can touch on the table. This knife and the holster is it.
You already have one of the knives.
Sig Foxtrot 2 is not a bad. I haven't tried that, Larry. It may possibly be.
No, I was
have to
talking
check
about
that
that,
out.
that pistol that you have with the gold slide. Is that a SIG that you have in the box sitting on there? That's a sweet gun. I'd like to own that one.
I don't know which one you're talking about.
Yeah.
like the special-
He's talking about one of the.
The special edition
It's
thing.
the tan slide. It's short. It's just like your M&P.
Oh,
the
the
special
M- the
edition.
M&P
spec off
2.0.
That's a
edition.
super pretty gun.
Yeah.
It really is. I don't know what the model or nothing is. Sorry, I just.
It's an M&P, but it has a threaded barrel. It's optic ready. It's a
That's-
special edition one.
Jason says when he
Optic
wins a
record.
scope in May, he's going to get his Top
Scope.
Gun scope engraved.
Oh.
Probably with
That'd
Top
be
Gun.
actually cool.
I like
Yeah.
how
Hey,
I like
folks.
how Jason's pre-planning.
Jason won Top Gun last time he came out, Chris.
Yeah. So
I think he won Top Gun when I was there on like Handgun 2.
No, he's only been to long range.
So we have the XP Long Range Academy courses coming up. This is how it's going to end up working, folks. We're going to have 3 prizes on the table. Top Gun's going to get first choice, and those 3 prizes are going to be a Zeiss S3 6-36 optic on the prize table for Top Gun. well, there'll be 3 prizes on there, and this was Summer's idea. And that the second prize, the other prize that's going to be up there will be a Fat Boy tripod and head, and the other prize that's going to be on there, it will be a Accutac PC4 bipod. So again, Top Gun's gonna get first choice.
Damn.
You know, maybe they already have a scope. They don't want a scope. They want, you know, the Fat Boy
Nice to be
tripod.
said.
You know, and the plan was to assign, like, Top Gun would get the scope. And
Yep.
I was like, you know, why don't we let them choose in order of ranking?
I like
They have a prize
You know, that way
table.
if they have a
Yeah.
scope, then they need a tripod, then they can get the tripod.
I want you. This is a perfect one for you to answer, Gary. Brink.
Mm-hmm.
Put that one up there, Sean, if you don't mind.
Says
That's a perfect question for the
Yes.
EDC guy.
100%.
I have a holster that holds an extra mag. Should I change the extra mag for a tourniquet?
Absolutely. You're 10 times more likely to use that tourniquet than the gun itself. You're 1,000 times more likely to use that tourniquet more so than an extra mag. So,
That's huge.
You know.
because I would say 90% of people would think
say
the opposite
extra
of that.
mag, yeah.
and that,
They would want more bullets.
I mean,
You know what
just statistically, like, look, we got to start.
I'm
we got
not
to start.
doubting you.
No. I mean, just statistically, we got to start looking at what the real threat is.
Yeah.
Like, there's a very small percentage of people that ever use a firearm in self-defense.
Mm-hmm.
The number one killer for the ages of 1 to 44 in the United States is traumatic injury. A very small amount of those are any sort of gunshot wounds. Those are car wrecks. Those are, you know, accidents at home, accidents at work. All these things. That's what gets you killed. You know, getting robbed, getting shot. While we should prepare for all those things, active shooting events, like those are so small compared to car wrecks. You need to be carrying. You need it. Number one, you need to have good training on med. Right.
That's
Come to
what I'm
one
saying.
of our
How to use it.
one of our traumatic injury response courses, naturally certified. We're teaching you how to save lives, not only just stop bleeding, but treating traumatic injury. And that is more important than any of this stuff. You need to have it on your person. You need to have it at your home. You need to have extra kits in your car. If you're serious about protecting yourself, saving a life, and protecting your family, have that training, have that kit, because you are thousands of times more likely to need that than you are a handgun. So when someone asks me, hey, should I have extra mag or a tourniquet? I mean, that question is the easiest answer that I can come up with. Like, it's so easy that it's statistically in your lifetime, you will have an opportunity to probably use a trauma kit. I'm not talking about a first aid kit and fixing boo-boos.
For a Band-Aid.
You know,
Yeah.
I'm talking about saving a life and being able to sustain life until they can get them to the next higher level of care. You are probably never going to use a firearm. Should you be ready to use it? Absolutely. Is the world about to go to shit? We're going to have civil war and the apocalypse. Yeah, that's probably coming too. But in the meantime, make sure you have training and trauma kit. That is the number one top priority if you look at things from a rational perspective.
And don't buy a crappy one.
Well, actually, the past few TCCC classes I talked about that time, was it last October you did the long range class?
Yep.
I was on my way out there. I stopped and put a tourniquet on somebody that needed it on
Yep.
the
Yep.
class that
Yep.
morning.
There you go.
Not one of our guys.
No. I stopped at an accident on the way out there.
Yeah.
I actually.
Yeah, but you all
saw
have
that
tourniquets on your website, so I
accident
want
coming
to say
through to the
too.
range and didn't realize what was going on.
And folks, you know, as simple as a tourniquet is, you need training, right? Like it's not just put this tourniquet
Throw
on.
it on there.
Like
Yeah.
the majority of people that even after they have training under a stressful situation, we just put them in a scenario.
Still do it wrong.
They completely goof that up.
Yeah.
And it's not just tourniquets, right? You also, what happens when you get an injury, shot, stabbed, wounded in a spot that you can't put a tourniquet on? What do you do then? All right. The answer is you're going to pack that wound. How do you pack a wound? Well, you need training to know how to do that. What happens when you get shot, stabbed, or something else in here, right? In the box, as we call it. Well, you're not just going to put a tourniquet on that. You're not going to pack that wound. You got other things that you need to do, and you need to know this. And there's an order of how to treat someone. We teach you that. We put you through multiple scenarios. We put you through multiple practical exercises. Because it's like, okay, we teach people how to use tourniquets, and we teach people how to do this, and we teach people they know how to do the tourniquet just fine. They know how to do this fine. They know how to do this just fine. They know how to assess the casualty, all that stuff. But then as soon as we throw it, like they got to do it all and put it all together, they fall apart, folks. And you will too if you've never done it. And you will probably, to some extent, fall apart even when you've done it a bunch and you have to do it for real the first time. But at least you can calm yourself down. You have that training to fall back on, and you're going to do things right, and you're going to do everything you can to possibly save that life, right? What else? I saw my baby's. Hold on. Let's talk about this. Oh, slow.
Well, he
Back
might
to
not know.
down.
He might,
Easy, Jay.
he might not
Fraser
understand
Lordley.
what he understand. He might be
Click
saying
that.
first
I know.
aid and not
I know.
and meaning.
Please
more
click
trauma.
that. So I still have my babysitter's first aid from 2001 when I was 11. I only ever babysit one time in my whole life. So again, I just want to clarify. We're not talking about a first aid kit. We're talking about a trauma kit. And when I mean a trauma kit, I don't like the stuff that's in a normal first aid kit is nothing that is going to treat anything that is life-threatening. What we're talking about is trauma kits that are going to have tourniquets, more than one, that is going to have some sort of hemostatic gauze that you can pack wounds with. It's going to have chest seals. That is going to have a space blanket to treat and prevent hypothermia. Because as you bleed, it can be 150 degrees out. If you've lost blood, you're going to become hypothermic. And if you become hypothermic while you have a traumatic injury,
was a joke, by the
it is well, too bad. We're not going back now. Treat it like serious. But this is
No, I
important.
like this is good.
You know,
It's really good.
if you become hypothermic because of blood loss and because of traumatic injury,
You can't come back.
you will die. It's 100% chance that you will die. It can be 100 degrees outside, you lose blood, and again, I'm looking at what is your actual training and title, Sean?
Oh gosh. So
He's basically a doctor.
Full time, I'm a firefighter and an advanced life support provider. I also teach. I'm instructor for TECC, TCCC, and I'm one of only a few ITLS, which means International Trauma Life Support High Threat Instructors in the Mid Atlantic region.
And Sean, did I say anything incorrect there?
No, you were right on point. Actually, backing up a little bit, when you're talking about doing this stuff under stress, one of the things I use in class, I don't like telling stories during class, but I actually have a really good story of why practice is necessary due to a mistake that I once made. So what you're saying, classes are really good for this kind of thing, and also practicing these kind of things for when you have to do it under stress.
Yeah, yeah, it really is. I can't look. I just can't stress enough. I'm a gun guy. I love training on guns. I love teaching people about guns. I love guns. Everything about them, mechanically, artistically. I love everything about guns. But guys, if you're serious about saving lives, being ready to save your family. If you have a bunch of guns and you have no medical gear on hand, you've never taken a traumatic injury response course or some sort of TECC or TCCC by a legitimate, reputable company, you are wholly inadequate. You are preparing for the 1% while completely ignoring the 99% when it comes to treating and protecting your family.
Y'all gonna take Robin this.
We do need
this year.
to get a live tissue going. People, I use a sidecar by T-Rex, fits my optic and extra mag well. Yep, the T-Rex sidecar is a good holster. When I first started my career, when we were given first aid kits only,
Yeah.
we have actual trauma kits. Things have definitely changed. Absolutely. When we took our basic med course when I was still in the regular army, going to Iraq for the initial invasion, we took the CLS class. They taught us only use tourniquets at last resort, and they thought it was so important to make sure you get an IV in someone that has any sort of traumatic injury. All the IV does is wash all the blood out, right? It's just getting rid of the blood
The blood they have left.
and waiting to put a tourniquet on has killed so many people in the U.S. military, and not just in this last conflict in Vietnam, going all the way back to the Civil War. And actually in the Civil War, and even in Vietnam to some extent, the use of tourniquets was much more prolific. We got away from that because of some bad analysis of lessons learned in Vietnam and even going back to the Civil War and World War II and World War I. But anyways, I digress.
So
It's really important.
when it comes to that, a lot of people are surprised to know. So I started doing this stuff back in 99, 2000. And a lot of people are shocked to know that up until about 2006, 2008, everything we did in the field as far as trauma care when it comes to trauma and shock
Mm-hmm.
was still stuff and the still theories that we use from Vietnam.
Oh, yeah.
Learned in Vietnam.
I mean,
No doubt.
No, it's crazy.
and the sad thing is,
Crazy.
there's lots of EMS out there running right now that still have negative thoughts or opinions on tourniquets. So, and hopefully that's changed. But, I've definitely had arguments, not in the last couple of years, but when we first started offering these courses, with EMS and paramedics and even doctors and stuff like that, where they were like, oh, no, I'm not putting a tourniquet on somebody. It's just, bad information.
Sean, was the catalyst for that change, you think, the lessons learned from Afghanistan and Iraq coming back?
That's exactly
Oh,
what
100%.
It
It rewrote everything.
Around the 2006, 2008 mark, we had
Yeah.
that huge transition.
Yeah.
But before then, to put a tourniquet on somebody, we actually had to call a doctor and get orders.
Jeez.
And that was after we did multiple steps. So in arterial,
Let's let them bleed out while we wait for a doctor
Yeah,
to
so-
answer the
That's what I
phone.
was gonna say.
so the textbook answer to how fast somebody can die from an arterial bleed is 3 minutes, but I've seen it happen a lot faster than that.
Yeah.
And
Put it on
after we go
stress
through all the
level.
steps, we are way past.
Well,
would
even
think,
you can have there's a difference between someone that is going to die later than die on the spot, and you can have a minute and a half of arterial bleeding to where like they're going to go. You may stop it at a minute and a half, 2 minutes, and then by the time you get them to the hospital, they're going to start going into organ failure, and they're not going to be able to get blood in them fast enough. So they may have not have died right there, but they're going to die. Like there's no recovery. And that we've seen that guys that you didn't think bled a lot. Like they would get on birds and, they had what was clearly arterial bleeding and they got treated fairly quickly. They didn't die there. You thought they were going to be just fine. And next thing you know, you're hearing that they died like 3 days later in Germany to what seemed like fairly quickly treatable wounds.
And there's a lot of factors there that influence
100%.
Yeah, I
how
was gonna-
much blood loss affects an
I was gonna
individual.
say,
Everything
because-
from health to,
Yeah.
I mean, just 1,000 different things. 1,000 different things. Let's see.
We do have trauma kits on the website.
Yep, we do have those. But what's more important than a trauma kit?
Is the trauma training we have on the website.
Well, we don't have. Well, you can buy the training on the
I
website.
mean the class.
Yeah, I know. Go to a course, whether it's ours.
Yeah.
I actually, for a long time, I would not put any med gear on our website for that
Because,
reason.
yeah, that makes
People think they can have the gear and
How
they're
to use
fine. And if you don't have the training, the gear's worthless. The best option, and you're better off having the training and not the gear, but the best option is having both. So,
And I will say, so a lot of our advanced firearms classes require you to have a trauma
prereq.
class, and that is the only thing that we will accept someone else's prerequisite for.
Yeah.
Like a training from a different company. And that has to be vetted as well.
yeah.
But
we're not going to accept everybody's.
No.
But if it's a legitimate company, if they're NAMT certified,
Sure.
that's going to get a pass right away. If there's something else, we're going to do some vetting on our own and tell you whether or not we accept that. But we just want everybody to get trauma training. I think it's the most important message that we can send out there as far as saving lives.
Yep. Cool.
Do not buy $10 tourniquets.
Yeah,
on
don't.
Amazon.
Folks,
Have them on the website.
We've seen them personally, the fake ones. It's like,
don't buy them on Amazon. Buy them from a trusted source. I know one called
and we're
Paramount
direct
Tactical
dealers
Solutions.
with Combat Med, NAR, TACMed Solutions, SAM Medical.
We-
We are direct dealers with them. We get them straight from the manufacturer.
And not all tourniquets are created equal either.
You said that.
I also, there's a TCCC committee that approves tourniquets. Just because they're not approved doesn't mean they're not good tourniquets. So again, when you come to our courses, we have like 4 different tourniquets that we use. We recommend that you're going to get practice using. You're going to find which one you like. There's some really good tourniquets out there, but don't buy cheap ones off Amazon. Most of those are counterfeit and they will fail on you. I think med gear and body armor are probably not the places where you want to bargain basement hunt.
Oh, or parachutes.
Or parachutes.
Don't get your parachute on eBay.
Yeah.
I thought about that one night.
So, spend a little extra money on that.
3 big places.
You know you're gonna
You don't want to save money.
You want to get quality stuff.
Well, Frazier, we appreciate that. He said, you guys seem very caring and knowledgeable. I'm glad I followed your channel not too long ago.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, folks, we covered a lot tonight. We stayed away from politics almost completely. Oh, I did want to cover one important. This isn't politics. This isn't politics, but it's
Don't
a
say
story.
the B word.
It's a story.
Don't say the B word.
What B word?
Biden.
I'm not gonna say Biden.
He's already said it.
Yeah, he came to our shop the other day. He didn't know he was there.
He was looking for ice
He's
cream.
looking for ice cream.
It's like, where's the chocolate at?
Folks, have you guys seen this story
Which
about
one?
this Boeing whistleblower? So you know how all this issues with
The
with
737
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
so he apparently was testifying, was at a deposition.
So he's an employee X? Or
I think he was a current employee.
Okay.
So he's there testifying, saying, hey, look, they have been covering up all these safety issues for time to time. He was at one deposition. They basically went on a break. He was supposed to come back. And somewhere he committed suicide.
What?
Yeah. He committed suicide.
No way.
No.
At a rest stop
In
or
between
something? Or
depositions.
At an Arby's?
No.
Yeah. So
They need to investigate that very thoroughly.
Yeah, oh, I'm sure they will.
what
I
are
don't
you?
know if
What are you, a conspiracy
I'm
theorist?
sure
You're
that-
telling me a
Summer.
multi.
the media's already
You're
saying he
telling
committed
me
suicide, though.
a
So are
multi-
they going to investigate it?
No.
Well, what they said was
didn't want
from
to
an
testify
apparent gunshot wound. Everyone is like the news stories are out there like this is fishy.
didn't
But first of
suddenly,
all, conspiracy theorists, do you telling me that a multi-billion-dollar company like Boeing would kill someone
That's
for
whistleblowing?
whistleblowing?
To keep them,
Like,
keep them quiet?
no.
No,
guys.
Come on.
You guys.
I know, right?
Come on.
That would have been my first reaction. Is like, all right, who did it? Because he didn't do this.
Anybody spreading misinformation
This
like
is
that
the
needs to
thing.
be just shut
This
down
is
right
the
away.
thing. Why don't just ram a car into him like he died in a car wreck?
He killed
That would,
himself.
but I'm saying that would be more
Because there's too many cameras out on the street
No,
nowadays,
no.
Chris. You
hit him
can't
on
just
the-
run
hit-
somebody
you hit
over
him
and
in
think
the-
you're going to get away with
No,
it.
you hit him on the interstate. Come on, Summer.
There's
You got-
cameras all over there.
No.
Strangely, Boeing lost control of a Predator drone and it kamikaze right into his car. We don't know what happened.
The camera shut off at the last minute.
Look,
I don't know
this
what
poor
part
guy
it
lost his life over trying to do the right thing at this point.
You know what? It's running rampant these days.
What, losing
Yeah.
your life over doing the right thing?
I mean, I'm not going to say that
So
because
here's the story. I'll read it real quick. The Boeing whistleblower
In
found
Charleston, South Carolina. Ooh, sorry.
the Boeing whistleblower found dead in Charleston, South Carolina, in between depositions over the weekend, showed no indications he would take his own life, and he was in good spirits, according to his attorneys. John Barnett, 62-year-old longtime Boeing employee who went public with safety concerns, he said he uncovered at the North Charleston plant, died Saturday, a day after sitting for a deposition with the company's lawyers. He was supposed to answer more questions but failed to show up. The police made a grim discovery. Charleston police said in a statement they responded to the Holiday Inn and Savannah Highway and found Barnett dead in his truck
In his
around
truck.
10:20
In
a.m.
his truck.
Saturday. He had a gunshot wound to the head and was pronounced dead at the scene.
What gun did he have in his possession?
The coroner's office, it doesn't say, the coroner's office told Fox News that he died from what appeared to be a self-inflicted triple tap gunshot wound to the head.
Triple?
I just do that.
Oh my God! So like, man, this he got a
did.
quick finger. Damn!
That part was fake news, guys. Let me.
Jason had already said he only shot himself 5 times.
I will state it correctly. He died from what appeared to be a self-inflicted gunshot wound. The coroner's report was not yet available. They are investigating the circumstances of his death.
His family needs to
Woo!
push.
I like
So-
that. I like your triple.
Says Jeff said he worked for Boeing for 35 years.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And look,
Oh, I'm
look
sure
at
he
that.
knew many things.
Yeah.
He got a heck of a severance package there.
There's definitely
bet
a severance. Severance of life. That's sad. That's terrible.
It is terrible.
Crazy.
The thing is
Why?
The thing is it'll just be swept.
Let's talk about the real problem here. The real problem is guns.
It is
That's the problem.
that these go into.
Yep. All right, folks. Well, we had a good time talking tonight. Yeah, we always appreciate you.
R.I.P.
Yeah, and we moved over to a new computer system, folks. I've dumped PC. I'm going all Mac. I've joined the cult,
By the way, I'm impressed.
but I don't have some of the fancy stuff that we had in there yet. I haven't figured that part out. we're getting there. Anyways, so we appreciate you. We could always appreciate the support. Hit 50,000 subscribers. Go tell your friends. The next time we're going to be doing this, we'll be hitting 100,000.
Badass.
Looking forward to that. And go sign up for courses. Go join the XP Long Range Academy. Go buy some Zysys 3 optics or Zero Compromise or Night Force or anything else in our store. But until next time, stay armed, stay ready. We'll talk to you soon.